already going live.
Yeah, but nobody knows that link. There's no point in getting
Go
it.
back and see too, right?
Go back where?
No, I mean, okay.
We have to give them people a link so they can see it. Otherwise, we're broadcasting and nobody has an idea.
No, but they can see it later too, right? I mean, they can go back in time and see it.
Yeah,
See
they
what
go
it
back
is.
and
But we can go ahead and get it started.
okay, you'll post it on the WCL?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, we can do this. All right, whenever you're ready.
Yeah. Okay.
Ready? All right, we're back on live. Before the final for the Premier Division starts, we wanted to talk to a few victorious players from Cosmos. So, as you can see, the celebrations behind me. So, first of all, congratulations on your win. And I saw you bat. And what's your overall take on how the final went?
I think we executed our plan very well. So we actually wanted we were Dharma and Sudhirana to take few wickets and restrict them to like 3 an over or 4 an over. So we then that's where we have a chance. So we didn't want Bhatti to take off and then that would jeopardize our chances. So that really worked well and Dharma bowled. He picked his wicket and some good catching. So that it was very satisfying win.
What did you think of your team's batting performance?
I think it was good. Overall, everyone chipped in with few runs, but I mean, ultimately the first few guys, they should have completed it ideally. So if you have lost like a couple more wickets, it's anybody's game. So I'm glad Ashwin and Ravi Teja completed it. They stayed till the end.
Sounds good, and enjoy the celebrations.
And we'll look forward for PD next year.
Yes, definitely. So, who else wants to come? Dharma, come, man.
I sent it to them as well.
So, Dharma, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Great win, and I would say that you started, your opening bowling. Both of you that you guys bowled early made a huge difference. With Sudhir, not giving any runs and you taking those key early wickets. So I think that set the tone for the entire game. So my take is that the bowling won the game for you today. What's your take?
That's our take actually. We ha- actually, we got a wake-up call in our quarterfinals where we screwed up big time. We were 88 for 8 wickets, chasing 68 for 8 wickets, and on the 8th wicket we made it from there. So then everybody started involving in the game and brought it, and we had easy semi-finals and easy finals. That's a good start, and we finished perfectly well in the finals by starting very good bowling. And once we got that pressure, like after 6 overs, after 8 overs, they were around 28 for 2. That set the tone for us. Yeah, bowling won us the game.
So now that you're back in PD, what do you think you need to do to take this momentum forward and be able to compete at that level?
We have a really good team. It's all about the mindset. We don't have a mindset of the international players, so we are trying to adapt that. So we came leaps and bounds from 2014 to here. We lost a close game against you guys in 2014 in the finals, so we learned a lot from that. So right now I'm instilling all that confidence. It's a mental side of the game. Kids know how to play. Now we are trying to improve the mental side of the game. So once that is there, probably we can do wonders.
Well, congratulations on a great season, and enjoy the celebrations.
Thank you.
Thanks. Where's Ashwin? Oh, Ashwin is not there. So, I think we're going to now change our focus and go to the Premier Division game. And so I think it's a great matchup between two excellent teams. Obviously, 22 yards. They're undefeated in the T20 format this year. They haven't lost any games. And Tigers have come on strong in the postseason. So I think it should be a great game. Looks like Tigers are going to be batting first. 22 yards is ready to go out and bowl. And I think it's going to be a great game. And based on the wicket, I think anything less than 160, 170 will not be enough against this quality team. So let's get ready to watch an exciting game. Thanks. Let's get one of these. Dani, captain. Are we on? Let me know when we're ready. Is this on too? Okay. Let me know when we're ready. All right, so on to the PD final. So Imran, 22 yards won the toss and put you into bat. What would you have done if you had won the toss?
Would have done the same thing. We had a plan to bowl first.
Okay.
But it's okay. It's part of game, so we go out and make runs now.
Okay. What do you think is a good score that you can then go out and defend?
Well, our target is 160 here. 160 and above. And that's how we planned everything if we wanted to bat first. Chasing, we had a totally different plan. So we're going about doing our business, what we're supposed to, what we have planned.
Okay, well, thank you very much and good luck in the game.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Rikin! Ready?
Hello.
Are we on? Is it on? All right. Okay. So Rikin, you guys won the toss and decided to field. Can you talk through what the planning is in that?
I mean, I think our team is good at chasing. That's our plus point. We have been chasing good this year. The other thing is, past 2 games for Tigers, they have chased 2 good scores. So they have been chasing good too. So, I mean, it works in our favor and works against them. So, I mean, I think that was the one thing that helped me make the decision.
So what are the changes in the team from the semifinal?
That was a 40-over game. Now this is the.
What I mean is,
in the T20.
Which players who played last week are different than who are playing today?
I mean, we have a couple of changes. The big one is Sunny is not here today. So Iraj replaces him. Other than him, Johan gets a opportunity at the finals, and also I think Japan came in.
Okay.
So those are the 3 changes that we have.
Okay. So not having Sunny, how does that change the balance of your team?
Sunny has been one of our top scorers this year, and he actually bowls new ball for us. So that was a big blow. But in Japan, I think we have a good replacement for him. He's going to bowl with new ball, and he's a good batsman too. So I think that Japan will take care of that void that we have due to Sunny. Hopefully it works out for us.
What is, in your mind, what is the target that you want to keep them to?
On this ground at Hatswell, especially, I mean, in high-pressure games like finals, we have seen that it's a low-scoring affair. But 40-over finals it showed a different ball game. It was a high-scoring game. So you never know with this ground. But I think anything below, I'll be happy with anything below 120, 130.
Well, you think that's a reasonable expectation?
Looking at Tigers' batting attack and our bowling attack, I think we should be able to keep them under 130 at least.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, we're back on live for the start of the 40 over game. I'm sorry, for the start of the PD 2020 final. Tigers batting first. The batsmen coming in are Adnan and Daoud. I'm going to guess that they have been told to be aggressive. At least I'm going to guess that Daoud at least is going to be an aggressive batsman. He likes to score in boundaries, and this is an opportunity for him to do so with the power play. And for 22 yards, obviously they're missing one of their key opening bowlers in Sunny Patel, but they have a decent amount of bowling options for them, and I expect this thing to be a fun game to watch. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the game. So here we go. So Daoud starts off with a boundary. As expected, he's going to be the aggressive batsman here. And a ball down the leg side was easily put away by him. Daoud has always been a strong player on the leg side, near his pads. That's his strength. And as the other area where he's really strong at is in the extra cover area. If the ball is pitched up to him on outside off, he is always looking to hit over the infield in that area. So Shahid Hanif is going to have to make sure that those are the two main areas where he does not bowl to Daoud. That's a wide down the leg. So that's 3 wides. So a great start for Tigers. And they got 7 runs in the first ball. So it looks like a little bit of a defensive field inside the circle for 22 yards. They're all on the circle, not trying to save a single. It looks like they're trying more to save the boundaries. Let's see if that changes any with Derek on strike. Again, I see mid-on all the way at the boundary. Well, not at the boundary, but at the edge of the circle. The 2 fielders out are at mid-wicket and long off. Yep, that's another white ball. Shahid Hanif is needs is not in his rhythm yet. He needs to make sure he's bowling in the right channels because right now he's straying down to the right of him. Both these teams are very strong in this format, 2020 format. They both enjoy playing this format. Um, 22 yards. Their strength is definitely batting in this format. Uh, Tigers are. I mean, they rely both on equally on their batting and bowling. So again, there was widths offered and. It was put away by Derek in the third man area. Last week also, 22 yards started slow with their bowling, but after the power play, they really pulled things back against Virginia Vols. Let's see if there's a similar pattern this week. So the end of one, it's 14 without loss. And it'll be interesting to see who is going to be the other bowler, which is usually Sunny Patel, who's bowling with Shahid Hanif in the beginning. But with Sunny not playing today, it's going to be obviously some different person. So we have a special guest here. A long-time member of 22 Yards. So welcome. And so, what's your take on how do you think this game's going to go?
Well, I think the start is not too well, but I think it will be a close game, just like always. Tigers in 22 Yards has always played a close game that goes right till the end. And recently, we all know that 22 Yards have won those close games. But it's a new day and a new game. Let's see what happens.
I should have first introduced you. My fault. It's Minaj Shahid, who's here, and the who's the person bowling? That's Uzi, right? No, Japan. Sorry, Japan Patel. So Japan Patel is in for this game. And it's been a while since I saw him bowl, but let's see how he does in these conditions. These are good conditions to bat in, and I'll look forward to this contest between Japan and the batsman. So starts with the dot ball. It was a full ball outside off, and batsman decided to just let it go. So Minaj, how have you been? What have you been playing much, or are you been mostly sitting on the sidelines this year?
Since I moved to Nashville, there are a lot of leagues in Nashville as well, so I've been actively playing in 3 leagues currently. The cricket is good, the fields are good over there, so I'm enjoying my cricket. I mean, as a cricketer, I know as long as I play cricket, I'm happy.
That's good, and it's always a pleasure to see you, and I'm glad you came in for this game. Did you come in specifically to watch this game, or was there other reasons as well?
Actually, since my family's here, I came to see my family, but every time I come, I think it's a coincidence, you can call it. 22 Yards are always playing the Tigers, and I happen to be part of one of the games, 40-over games, which was also against the Tigers.
So good. So I guess whenever, like I said, it's a good coincidence that whenever you're playing them, Tigers is always the opponent. And what's been the win-loss record like in those games for you?
Recently, the one we played in the 40 overs, 22 Yards won. before that, the night tournament that was taking place, 22 yards won in that one too, and the one before that, 22 yards won that one as well. Um, but the 40 overs, I think the second 40 over game, Tigers won that one.
But see, what Minaj is saying is he wasn't there for that game. That's why you won. So Japan is struggling a little bit with his line. He's straying down the leg side.
We can't forget it's a final,
Yes,
so no matter how big of a player you are, the pressure is always there.
that's right. That's right. So I'm sure 22 yards is a game plan. What is the game plan against somebody like Daoud who likes to hit boundaries? And
Well, I
there's the
think-
first wicket. Daoud has been given out LBW.
I think whatever the game plan was, I think
Well, obviously it
not-
worked. Japan is successful in his first over. He gets Daoud out LBW.
as a
for five.
batsman, I know you have to be very careful of the bowler who's bowling wides. There's always that one ball which is in line. You need to be careful of that. You can't
Yes.
lose your concentration.
Yes. On this one, I felt that Daoud tried to play across a little bit, and I think instead of playing straight, so that kind of made a difference in him missing that ball. I can't tell from here, obviously, if it was going to hit the stumps or not, but
And
all I could tell was that he did play across.
he was also stuck on the crease. He had no footwork. If he was on the front foot, maybe the decision would have been different.
Yeah. So the new batsman is
Abdullah Said.
Abdullah Saeed. So Abdullah is a pretty decent batsman. I've seen him in the past, and he's not afraid to go over the top.
And I think 22 yards probably had him in the mind while creating a game plan. Abdullah's wicket is probably one of the biggest wickets in the Tigers team.
It's another wide. So what's the biggest difference that you see in cricket in Nashville and here?
Well, especially here, I feel like the player quality is better. The competition is much better. For an isolated city like Nashville, I would say there are not too many teams, but all the teams have maybe you could say 2 or 3 and
Oh, that's a big wicket that you were talking about. So Japan has made a huge impact in this game already with 2 wickets in his very first over. That was actually a very surprising shot to me. He was nowhere near the line of that ball. His foot movement going forward was more towards middle and leg instead of coming across. So he was nowhere in line and just looked like a wild swing.
I think it's just too early to play that shot. It's a newish ball, still swinging, with a bit of wind. It wasn't called for to play that shot. You need to get your eye in, especially in a big final like this.
Yes, definitely. I mean, even though they have 18 runs in 1.4 overs, but they've lost 2 wickets, and I think 22 yards will be very happy with that. They wouldn't mind giving a few extra runs if they can have early wickets.
5 wides on the wicket. I don't think they would mind that.
That's true. Yeah. So we have so the new batsman coming in is Chris Van Tool. Chris had a great game in the semis. He actually saw his team through, pretty much all the way close to the end, and he batted really well. And he's going to have to do that today because, the situation is much more difficult today. 2 wickets are already down, batting first, against a team that loves to score, against the big scoring team. So the pressure is there to make sure that you put the required runs on the board, and he now needs to make sure he doesn't lose his wicket too early. So it's going to be a balancing act for him.
With his experience, I think he needs to show that now. He's an experienced player, played a lot of cricket, and he's probably been in these kind of games before. He needs to show that and really apply himself and carry on the batting.
Yeah, it's true. I agree with you. But I think that a little bit added pressure of a final. So I think that kind of weighs on a batsman as well.
And that's where experience comes in.
That's true. So 22 yards looking to attack a little bit more now. They have 2 slips in place. Chris is watchful on the first ball, even though it was slightly over pitch, but he didn't want to drive on it. He just made sure he got in line of that ball and just gently tapped it to covers. So Imran, what did you think of that shot that Saeed Abdullah played?
He went after the ball too early. It's okay. It's okay. Long way to go.
Well, that ball stayed low. Lucky that it wasn't on the stumps.
And what I've been noticing last couple of overs, at least I've counted 4 balls that stayed low. I don't know, it's because of there was a game played on this before, or I don't know what it is, but before when I used to play in Hyattsville, ball didn't really stay that low. It was always a good bounce and carry on this wicket.
Yeah. So the other ones, I agree. The other ones that stayed low were a little bit fuller than this one, so this was a little surprising to me. Hopefully that area where it pitched and stayed low is luckily outside the stumps, and I'm hoping that in the stumps area, if the ball pitches in that area, it doesn't stay low, because I think that's gonna, if that happens, then the batsman can't really play freely, because that was a good length ball and it stayed low, and if the balls on the wickets are gonna behave that way, then you're not looking at a high scoring game.
I hope it's just that one pebble that was left on the pitch.
Apparently, I mean, I did talk to them before the game, and they did say that they had watered and rolled this wicket. The wicket looked pretty firm, so like you said, hopefully so another boundary.
Me being a left-hander, I know if you get broom outside the off stump, this is something that you wait for. And all you need to do is throw your hands at it, just like he did.
And then Shahid Hanif has not been. His first over was all over the place, and even this ball was full toss outside off, giving the batsman width to hit it. So he needs to get into better rhythm.
As we were coming to the ground, he spoke to me about it's his first game on this ground this year at Hyattsville. So I don't know if that's playing on his head. Maybe the run-up he's not used to.
Yeah, it could be any of those things. But he's going to have to get that out of his mind. And so that's a great shot over long off. The ball a bit short, and they took full advantage of it.
Beautiful shot. Just got in the line of the ball and just swing his bat at that ball. It went all the way for 6.
Yes. And I think that's the zone that Derek is looking for. He's very strong in that area. If you want to contain Derek, you have to bowl in the wickets to him. He generally doesn't take as much of a risk if the ball is coming at him straight. If the ball is a little bit wide outside the off stump, then he goes after it hard.
I don't think any batsman like the balls coming to his stumps.
No, actually, some batsmen, you'll be surprised, actually like the ball closer to them to hit it. But I agree with you overall. What you're saying is true. See, again, he gets that width, and a great shot. That was a great shot over covers for another 6. I think Shahid needs to change his field. Instead of having where he's bowling outside off, and he's got mid wicket and long on outside the circle. What he probably needs to do with this line is to have a cover boundary and long off, whitish long off.
I think the ball is flowing off his bat magnificently. It's just the flow that he's striking that ball. I mean, I'm looking at it from this angle. It just looks beautiful.
Yes. But do you not think that where he's bowling, his field placement is the two outside fielders could be in a different place?
Of course, he's trying to bowl outside the off stump. He generally brings the ball into the left-hander, but he's trying to keep the ball on the offside, and I think the ball is not swinging anymore.
Yeah.
So it's just going away with the angle.
So when I talked to Ricken, he was saying that his plan is to keep Tigers to under 120. Do you think that's a reasonable expectation, considering the score is 34 and this is only the third over?
I mean, you never know. I've been part of these games before. Tigers have gotten off to a very good start. The last game I played, I think they were 80-2 in about 11 overs, and they were all booked for maybe 130.
Okay.
So you never know. It depends on how they bowl. Obviously, Tiger has a long batting lineup. They will look to score as many as possible. But one over like this, and all the plans go out the window.
Yeah.
We might be seeing a spinner soon.
Yeah. So Shahid Hanif under tremendous pressure. That's a good 2 runs. Good strong running there. I think Derek wants to stay on strike. He's enjoying batting to Shahid, so he wants to make sure that he's on strike. So there is slight change in the field. There is a man out in at cover, deep cover, to prevent that boundary. But I still think we could probably bring in mid wicket. White ball.
I know, but you watched the previous game here?
I did.
What do you think about the outfield?
I think the outfield is fine today. It's moving reasonably well. I think they cut the grass this morning, so I mean obviously it's not going to be like international level outfield, but I think it's pretty good. They have been the ball has traveled. The ground strokes have been rewarded. There have been boundaries going, so I think both teams will be happy with the outfield.
It's great to see a rope.
Yeah, I think we will certainly see that in all the finals moving forward. I was expecting a bit of a bigger crowd than we have today. What's your take on that? Well, it's a great weather-wise, it's a great day.
I have a feeling there will be a few more people that might be coming in. I know there was a huge accident and it was really backed up, but I think we should have plenty more people coming in.
I think that'd be nice because I think it lends itself well to for the atmosphere that's created for a big final like this.
Only if they had barbecue, I think there will be more people coming in.
That's good. So at the end of 3 overs, it's 38-2, and I have a feeling that there will be a bowling change from this end in the next over. Let's see, Japan had a good over, 2 wickets in this last over. I think they may play him with a little bit more, circumspection. Or more caution, as you said, a better word. It'll be interesting to see how Derek plays him.
I think this will be a good battle. Japan has been struggling with his line, but he did pick up 2 wickets. That probably gave him a lot of confidence.
Yes.
But now Derek has his eye in. He's looking good as well. So it'll be a good matchup.
What do you think of the field placement? You have a third man and you have a deep mid wicket for Derek.
I mean, Japan has a bit more pace, so a third man kind of makes sense to me. But other than that, deep mid wicket, I don't know what kind of line he or length he's trying to bowl. But at this point, I would try to keep the ball in the stumps, and I think they have a mid wicket just for the flick shot that might come into play. But I have a feeling there won't be any balls going to that side.
All right, so this should be a fun over. So Derek got what he wanted. He got a bit of width and with a little bit fuller ball, and he goes over, backward of point for a wonderful boundary. So Derek is taking, the game to the bowlers. He's putting all the pressure on the bowlers, and that creates a change in the field. The finer third man is now moving square in the area where the ball went.
With Japan's pace, he didn't need to do anything. He just tried to make contact with the ball, and as you saw, the ball flew to the boundary.
Slightly slower ball, but Derek read it early, held his shot, and just played it for a single.
And that's smart. The ball wasn't there to hit, so he just rotated the strike. Now you can relax.
So, do you think that overall, and most bowlers do, they prefer bowling to right-handers because that's what they're more used to? What kind of an effect does that have on a bowler when you are just so used to bowling to right-handers and then you have a left-hander coming into bat?
Well, nobody, there are not too many left-handers in the league. Or anywhere you go, left-handers are very, I would say, precious. So me and you are very precious. But yeah, I mean, you're used to bowling to right-handers. But when a left-hander comes, especially someone who has class and ability, it's really hard to adjust. But that's what good bowlers do. They adjust.
That was good cricket all the way around. It was a decent ball, well played, and a well-run single.
I think at this point, 22 yards is thinking no matter how much they get, they will back themselves to get those runs. I think it's more of damage control right now. That's what the mindset is. They're probably not looking to get wickets, but if they get wickets, they can restrict the runs.
So I think the batsman got a little late on that shot. I don't think he was trying to play as straight as the ball went. I think he was trying to pull it towards, cow corner.
Flat batted off drive.
Yeah. I think overall Tigers will be happy with the score. I mean, they've lost a couple of wickets, but their run rate is extremely good right now.
Very happy. I could see it from their faces.
Yeah, of course they would have liked to have lost one wicket less, but, considering everything, they will take it.
They should take it. They better take it.
I like the change in pace that Japan is bringing. Every ball has been at a different pace.
I think the around the wicket angle has changed the things up a little bit. He's trying to tuck him up.
Who's the fielder in slips?
That'll be Hamayon.
Oh, okay. So overall, I would say it's still a good over for Tigers. Score is 48 for 2. They got 10 runs in that last over. They'll be very happy with that.
I think they got 110 in the previous over.
So over in Tennessee, what position are you batting at?
Well, it depends on who's available, right, in the team. If we have a full team, always open. I've been opening here, as you know,
Yeah.
for the time that I played here. But if we have not enough players or our main star players are out, I try to go down the order 4 or 5 and try to take responsibility and try to finish the game.
Okay.
And plus the outfields there that suit me very well.
Okay.
We don't need to force any shots, as you know. I don't play across the line or try to not play across the line. All you need to do is just stroke the ball, and it just goes.
Yeah. So this is a contest that I'm really looking forward to. Dishant is an excellent bowler, and he generally does come into the power play. And he has such great control. And he's, for the most part, he's always taken wickets in his first spell. And if he can do that today, that's going to make a huge impact. Oh, that would have been out. That's excellent fielding there.
Little chances like these have to be taken, especially when your team is against the ball. A good fielding can change the.
Yes, that came very close. I think I think it was just barely inches away from the wicket, and if that had hit, he was out.
Pawan usually hits the stumps.
Oh, he got away with that. If that had connected, that would have gone a long way.
Nobody's there. Nobody's there.
So he's lucky. He only gives 1 run on that wide. Both these guys are excellent runners. You can tell. But same thing. I think Dishi would much prefer bowling to a right-hander.
Especially the ball spinning away
Yes.
from the right-hander.
Yes.
As a left-hander, you want the ball coming into you. But Dishant, if you notice, he changes his pace very well, even as a spinner. The loop.
You know, I also didn't like bowling to left-handers as much, but you were the one person that I really enjoyed bowling to.
Even my teammates made fun of me. I always try to hit you over cow corner. Always got out there. I think every time you didn't play, I scored at least 50 against Zolan.
That's probably true. No. Well, this was a good over. I think only 4 runs in the over, so excellent over by Dishant in the power play.
And Dishant has been captain's go-to guy. Every time the other team is going well, he always introduces Dishant or maybe Usman to restrict the runs and expects them to take a wicket. But
And that brings Humayun to the bowling on the other side. This will be interesting because I think they will go after Humayun. I think more so Derek than Chris.
I think they brought in the off spinner for the left-hander.
Yeah, but I think Derek likes playing spinners. Chris, I think, is more comfortable against the pace. He likes that pace on the ball.
Mine reminds me of Chris Harris bowling.
He does have a similar action. You're right. That's exactly what he wanted, an overpitched ball outside off, and he got it. And he's very strong in that extra cover area. So back to your cricket in Tennessee. So you mentioned that the level of cricket here is much higher over there. How many teams do you have over there?
Well, in the main league that I play in, it's Music City Cricket League. There are about 14 teams there. The cricket is still growing there, but the competition has gotten better. Before there were at least, I would say, 4 or 5 teams that were always on top of the table. But recently, this year, I have seen a lot more upsets, if you want to call that. There are more people coming in, joining different teams and making them better.
Is it mostly students from universities who play in the league there?
Mix up.
That's a huge opportunity loss. That was an easy run out.
Are we gonna watch this on ESPN tonight?
Well, you can certainly watch it on WCL link and highlights, but that's a very lucky break, I would say, for Tigers, because that looked like a certain run out. Both batsmen on one end, and you missed the run out.
This is one of those "come on, man" moments.
Yes.
Huge opportunity loss for 22 yards.
See, Derek loves playing against spinners. And Humayun's bowling flat, so it gives the batsman, an opportunity to not have to worry about the length as much. So 7 runs in that over. So I think both teams will be okay with that. It's par for the over, I suppose.
I think the run-out chance was a big opportunity loss for
Yes.
22 yards in this over. If they had availed that opportunity, I think 22 yards would have enjoyed this over much more.
Sure. Plus, they would have, stopped the momentum a little bit if that had happened. Right now, after the first 2 wickets, looks like Tigers have, gotten a little bit of a momentum here.
They've utilized the power play really well. They're 59 for 2 after 6. I think if you would have given this to them before the game, they would have taken it.
I agree. So do you think Dishy bowls better in the power plays or just as well once the field is open?
I think when it comes to bowling the power play, he's looking to pick up wickets. Usually it's to restrict runs, but he's looking to pick up wickets. And once the field opens up, he's just looking to contain and waiting for the batsman to make a mistake.
Yeah. So I think what he's doing really well here is he's bowling, that wicket to wicket, not giving that width to him. This one was a little drifted down the leg side. But I'm interested to see how Derek plays, because I think Derek will attack him even if the ball's on the wicket. He knows his chances of getting LBW is less with the ball coming into his pads. So I think he will attack him.
Especially the ball spinning in. Dishy being a left-arm spinner. Drop catch.
Yes, that's a huge for somebody like Pawan that should have been taken.
He got to the ball. The ball hit his hands. It
But-
just popped out.
Yeah, did that look like a no ball to you? It
I don't
looked
think
like
so.
a pretty high full toss. I'm not sure.
Derek being a tall man, if it was me, probably going over my head.
So it's interesting that Pawan came. I mean, not Pawan, but Humayun came into bowl ahead of Pawan. What do you think of that?
As I said, it was because of a left-hander. Mario ball was off spin.
So you're saying that they did not want to bowl Dishi and Pawan in tandem?
Exactly. Pawan ball's leg spin, so
Yeah.
it'll be much easier for Derek to hit him. I think that was the main reason. But if you see two right-handers coming in, you'll definitely see Pawan coming to bowl.
That's another good over actually by Dishant. He's been bowling really well. Only 3 runs in that over.
22 yards has definitely pulled it back a little bit. But a drop catch, another opportunity missing and an over. So that's last 2 overs, 2 opportunities lost.
That's right. And 2 different batsmen. But Dishi has really helped pull things back. 2 overs for 6 runs.
So anybody who thought about streaming the final live on YouTube?
I think this was the EC's decision or their thinking in this, because I think once they realized that CricClubs gives them that opportunity, they decided to take it. And WMCB has also been streaming it, so I think they got, they were able to get some ideas from there as well.
It's good to see live scoring on CricClubs this year. When I moved to Nashville, they had implemented this already, and they were doing it. And in my mind, I was thinking that why is WCL not doing it?
That's a good shot, and again, Derek is playing spin really, really well. It was there in the slot for him, and he took full advantage. Yeah, so back to Nashville again. So are most of the people who play there, are they college students or a combination of college students and professionals?
Well, there are some college teams there. All the students, they play together. And then they also have teams for people who are just gone there to work, mostly in IT. And so it's a mix. It's a good mix of college students and also people who are working.
A quicker one there. That easily played. So, would you say that just to gauge the level of talent in Nashville, if you put together a top 11 players from the entire league, how would that rate against like a PD team here?
If you're talking about having just 11 players,
Yes.
I think we can definitely get 11 players from there who can compete in the Premier Division with any team, I would say. There are some also people who played in India, in Pakistan, good level cricket, and each team has about 2 or 3 of them where each team just targets them. So the game plan, every time as in my team, when we make a game plan, we only target those 2 or 3 players who we know can carry the team. So back to your question about the level of cricket, if we can get players to come in and play against Premier Division team. There's definitely talent there. They can easily compete here.
Okay, well, that's good to know. So Chris is playing a few more dot balls. Derek has been very good. He's had very, very few dot balls and has been really looking to go after the bowling. I think Chris has not looked as comfortable against spin as Derek has.
But I feel like at this point, Chris just needs to stay with him. They're running really well between the wickets. That's always a plus. And if the other end, the batsman is going well, just try to give him a strike and let him handle it.
Yeah, I have a feeling this is a big over. I think something's going to give. Either Chris is going to go after Dishy,
or a chance will be missed.
Yeah, well, I don't know if the chance will be missed, but I think the chance will be created. Especially if Dishy can bowl 2 or 3 dot balls, and I think Chris will try to attack him, and then that's where the chance could be created. So I expect this to be an eventful over one way or the other. Dishy's length has been excellent.
Great bowling, especially when, in the situation that he came into bowl. Derek was going crazy. I think he has held it back really well.
So this is what I was thinking is going to happen. He's going to, after a few dot balls, he's going to try something. And but really good bowling by Dishy. I think Dishy certainly deserved that wicket. He earned it. He's been bowling really good line and length. And you could kind of tell that Chris was getting a little bit frustrated by that.
I was just about to say that's what frustration looks like. I mean, he was going well. He just need to stay there. Now they've opened up the window for 22 yards to come back in this game.
Yes. I think Derek is key. If Derek can bat long, they'll have a really good score. No, I don't think so. Is it? Yeah, it is. It looks like Daniel. 2 lefties. So Daniel Ahmed is the new batsman. So Brown, what is the thinking behind sending Daniel up with that many overs left?
Dani has been in a very good touch this year. He has been performing good. So obviously when you're performing, I won't be keeping him down. And he's making some good runs. Yeah, hitting the ball well. So that is one of the reasons he got an opportunity.
Do you also think you sent him up because Dishy, the left-arm bowler, is bowling and you wanted 2 left?
Yeah, because now in the middle overs, they're going to bowl the leg spinners. Most of them left arm or either right arm. So that would be a perfect match. Yes.
Yeah. Makes sense. So Imran, it's 69 for 3 after 8.3. Are you still think 160 is your target?
Yes. Our plan was to. I mean, we knew that we were going to lose 1 or 2 wickets up front when we're going after the ball, because the main focus was to make as many runs as possible in the first 6, and then we'll go about our own plan afterwards, which is just keep it on the ground and let's keep it ticking.
Okay. So you think you're still on target?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
We have about 80 more. 90 more runs to make in 12 overs.
Yeah.
You heard it from Imran.
So Sudhir, oh, I guess he's getting a picture taken. Hey, Sudhir, come. First of all, congratulations on your win. Well-earned victory, and your bowling at the beginning made a huge impact. I mean, you were able to, you know, make sure that early on they didn't get that many runs, and that put a lot of pressure. So great bowling.
Yeah, that was my job. That's why I'm there. So I have to. That was being told to me that I have to stop runs,
Yes.
and I just use my experience in WCL for 15 plus years. So I had to do that. So took the responsibility. It worked out. Thank God.
Yeah, no, it was great bowling.
Yeah.
Now, what's your take on this game so far?
I would say the way it's going, I think it's 70-30, 70 for Tigers, 30% to 22 yards, because they should not bowl so many wides and they're not no discipline in bowling. So I don't think so. I was expecting much better from bowling from them, but the way they're going,
That's a great hit by Derek. Excellent shot. Derek has been a treat to watch today. He's batted really well.
it's really amazing.
Yeah. So what is the biggest difference you see in the first game and this game?
What do you say?
What is the biggest difference you've seen between your game and this game?
I think these guys are really playing attacking and they're really good. The way Boyd's play was totally different. They want to go, I don't know why they want to save their wickets, and they at last they could not even save their wickets. But these guys are most aggressive, more attacking. I think that the difference of I think these players, the level they play, is we can see that.
Yeah. That ball got a lot of bounce.
Humayun's bowling quick now.
He is, but I was not expecting that ball to come up that much. But yeah, he doesn't want to. He doesn't want to pitch the ball up to Derek. That's what he's saying. He's just saying, okay, let me bowl length balls, almost like a medium pacer. So what do you think? What do you think of? So what do you think of bringing Pavan in the end overs now, because that's where he's going to end up having to bowl, unless there's a plan now to bowl him, which I'm not sure. I know Usman has been bowling after the 10th over for the most part. He's been brought in only after the first 10 overs have been. So I'm assuming that he and Pavan are going to be bowling after the 10th over.
Well, I'm pretty sure captain will bring in Pawan now because he has to bowl. He's a good bowler. So, I mean, there's a risk and reward.
Yeah, I'm thinking he's going to come in after Dishi's 4 overs are finished. So this is his last over. Then I think he's going to replace Dishant. That's what I'm thinking.
He has to do as good of a job as Deshant did.
Right. Well, that's not easy. But I don't know which side Uzi wants to bowl, so I think that's going to have an impact where Pawan bowls from too. I've always seen Uzi bowl from this end, where Dishant is bowling from. I've never seen Uzi bowl from the other side. So I'm going to guess that Usman is going to come from here and Pawan from the other side. Why?
I think I just saw the captain give Pawan an indication that he might be bowling from that end.
Yeah.
So let's see.
But Dishi has been the bowler for me today. He's been the best bowler today.
I think there's been a difference between 84 for 3 and 184 for 3.
Uh,
Deshaun is
good.
Deshaun is wearing his pace really well.
He is, and he's also wearing his line to the left-handers. You know, he's not. He's bowling a little bit outside off. Except that one, to Danielle. But he's not coming too close to Derek.
Because he knows the way Derek is batting. If it's in the arc, it's out the park.
The number of dot balls Dishant has bowled has been very impressive. That's been another very good over by Dishant. Oh, there's still one ball left.
If he picks up a wicket on this ball, it'll be icing on the
If he
cake.
picks up this wicket on this ball, to me, he's already the man of the match. Especially because it's going to be Derek's wicket if he picks it up on this ball. I don't think Derek's going to go after him because he knows this is his last ball of his spell.
Very
I think-
smartly played.
Yeah, and I think now Derek is going to go after the other bowlers. Yes. Excellent spell. 4 overs for 14 runs, 16 runs. That's very good.
Especially in the situation he came into bowl.
Yes. So Derek scored 56 off of 34, and that's the difference in this game. And on the other hand, on the other side, Dishant, 4 overs for 16 runs. So you're looking at probably 10 more runs or 12 more runs that these guys would have gotten if it wasn't for Dishant's accurate bowling.
He would have liked to pick up a couple more wickets, but he was only able to get one.
Yeah, they weren't taking too many chances on Dishant. Of course, Dishant did have a chance on that in the full toss, which was dropped on the boundary by Pavan. So he would have actually had Derek out by now. I'm looking forward to this contest. I think, especially between Pavan and Derek, I want to see how that goes. If I'm Dani, I just take a single and let Derek, take the attack to the opposition.
I don't know if you have seen Pawan before or not. I don't know about you.
I've seen him bowl.
But I've seen him bowl a lot of googlies to the left-handers. He wants to take the ball away from them.
I've seen him bowl twice. He got away with that. That was a short ball. First ball, but not much harm done. Only a single. So this is the contest I've been looking forward to between these two. Let's see how that goes.
Where do you think Derek will look to hit him?
I think Derek is going to look to hit him in two areas. One is, if it's a googly and he catches that early, he's going to go, Yep, straight over, and otherwise he's going to go over mid wicket. So that's the thing, right? If he just bowls slightly short, Derek's going to hit him, which is exactly what happened. Pawan cannot, when he's bowling to Derek, he has less margin for error. This was a short ball and he hit him. If he can pick up his googly, he's going to go over on the offside. Otherwise, he's going to go this same area where he went just now.
I think if he's bowling that short, it doesn't really matter if it's a googly or no.
That's true.
Shot, Derek!
And now if I'm Dani, I just take a single again. So they already have 8 runs in the first 3 balls. If they can get 3-4 more runs in this over, that's a great over for them.
And Pawan will look to bowl some dot balls here. I think that's why he moved this square leg fielder to mid wicket.
That's it, Dani!
So the game is beautifully poised. 99 after 11.4 overs. From this point, if they can get 80 more runs in the last 12 overs, last 8 overs, 10 runs per over, that would be a great score. 180 would make it for a fun, a treat to watch in the second innings.
And I think if Tigers get anything less than that, they'll be disappointed.
So I think this ball was short too, and he got away with it a little bit.
100 up, boys, 100 up.
Yeah. Again, on this wicket, the ball's it is gonna sit there for you, the way he bowls, and if his length is not another yard up, Derek is going to continue to punish him. But great batting though. You have to give credit to Derek for putting that pressure on the bowler. He's batted extremely well.
He obviously has. He's been given a chance, but he's making all good batsmen. They make good of those opportunities, and he's making 22 yards pay.
I think this is where Sunny Patel is being missed. So how many slower balls do you think Uzi's going to bowl per over?
I think he's going to start off with. He's not going to look to decrease his pace or bowl any slower balls than maybe the first 4 balls. But if he gets hit for a boundary in the 3rd or 4th ball, then the 5th one is definitely a slow ball. And I think he has one of the best slower balls in the league.
Uzi has been. I've been very impressed with Uzi's, year by year improvement. He has become a very dependable bowler for 22 yards. The only thing I'm not sure about it is if he should be bowling, starting his spell this late in the innings.
But that's what the captain does, right? He brings him on around this time of the innings, 12, and looks or wants him to finish the innings and go all the way to the end and restrict the runs and also pick up wickets. He has great ability of picking up wickets in the middle overs.
Usman has decent pace now. He's increased his pace over the years.
Yeah, you helping with the commentary too, or you just sitting there?
No, he's been a great help.
Better than you in the bowling department.
I think I did okay. Oh, good bowling.
His ball is getting through.
I have faced him in the nets many times. He's much quicker than you think he is. The ball rushes you when you're batting.
Yes.
It skids through.
Yes, that slingy action of his, makes that ball skid through. And I think this is where he'll be effective. I think, Derek can, obviously, a high-quality batsman can play him. I think Donnie might struggle a little bit. But if he drifts down leg to Donnie, Donnie has a very good flick. And then right now he has no protection down the leg side. So in this case, he used his pace against him on that full ball. That's the third ball that they've used, right?
Yeah, they've definitely lost a couple of balls on the woods.
And this is what I was saying, that his pace is going to bother Donnie. If Donnie doesn't play straight, he's going to miss it. That's surprising. Okay. That's a huge wicket.
Derek didn't expect that ball to
Yeah, he was not expecting it to skid through like that.
Not at all. But a great innings.
But a great innings by him, and a good breakthrough by Usman. I think this is going to go a long way in restricting Tigers this wicket. So Derek scored 71 on 39 balls. That's an excellent innings.
Great display of stroke play. I think he hit boundaries on all around the ground. But Usman, this is what the captain wanted from him, and he delivered.
That's a huge breakthrough. Good keep on that. The ball was going away from the keeper.
Besides one bad ball, Usman has bowled a good over so far.
Yes, I agree. So do you think changing that ball had an impact on that wicket? Because that was the first ball after they changed the ball that got Derek's wicket.
I think the way Derek was batting, the ball didn't really matter. It was just a good
Maybe
ball
it came a little bit
regardless.
differently than he had expected because of how the other ball was, but I don't know. But a very good over, getting a big wicket. 112 for 4 after 13.
Sonobhai, where did you play this year?
I did not play this year. In fact, I didn't even watch any of the games or until the playoffs.
Did you miss cricket?
Not as much as I thought I would, to be very honest with you. There were a lot of things that I did during the weekends, during the summer. So I went to a few places also. So I think overall, I didn't miss it as much.
Hopefully, you'll be back next year.
At this point, I'm not thinking of coming back next year. But you never know, right? I think the other person who will be very happy not to have to bowl to Derek is Pawan. देख ले.
I think Pawan will feel more comfortable bowling to a right-hander now.
Yeah. He's getting good bounce.
Especially with his height, I think his height has a lot to do with it, with the bounce that he's getting.
So I think losing Derek is going to certainly have an impact on the number of boundaries they hit in the last 7-8 overs. It could be a 25-run difference.
And also, it opens up more bowling options for 22 yards, and the captain will feel more comfortable handing the ball off to his regular bowlers.
Oh, nice shot. Very good shot by Danielle. The bowler paid the price for pitching it way up and giving him the width. If they can get another boundary in this over, that would be a very good over for them. That was not given a wide, so I guess it must have touched the batsman somewhere.
But again, that was not a good delivery by Pavan.
Interesting. All four of the fielders inside the circle are behind the batsman. Those are huge gaps in the field. Because the batsman doesn't have to worry about playing the ball in the air when he plays straight because there are no fielders.
Kind of don't agree with the field position as well.
I don't either. That's not a spinner's field position.
Especially a guy who's spinning the ball into a left-hander.
Yeah.
And only having one fielder behind square on the leg side, inside the circle, saving a single.
Yeah, I don't agree with having three fielders on behind the batsman on the offside. If the ball was going away from the batsman, I can still like understand it.
Yeah, with that field, he should be bowling more googlies.
Yeah.
That would make sense, but if he's bowling a regular leg spinner.
But still, overall, that over wasn't so expensive for them. 8 runs in the over. Beaten by pace. Uzi's pace is certainly bothering them.
I think the variable bounce on the pitch as well.
I think the other thing is Uzi, he's always been a bowler who not only skids through, but his ball doesn't bounce that much. It's a very good throw.
Excellent throw from the boundary.
I'm looking forward to watching Himayu bat today. He's a treat to watch.
Unfortunately, I've never seen him bat in WCL, so it'll be a good opportunity for me as well.
Oh, you've only seen him play bat elsewhere?
Well, I remember watching him in, if you remember, ICL, I believe, Indian Cricket League. I think he played for Lahore Badshahs.
Okay, I did not know.
Yeah, I've seen him bat there, but I mean, I've heard a lot of good things about him from 22 players from 22 yards, especially the way he played in the semifinal.
Yes, I saw his innings in the semifinals. It was a great innings. I mean, without his innings, 22 yards would not have been in a position to win that game.
And he himself feels he should have finished that game. He took full responsibility of it. I mean, he played great. You couldn't have asked for better innings from him in that position.
Uzi has been very, very good. He's been very effective.
He's improved a lot.
Yes.
I believe he's also going to the U.S. Open.
He has learned quite a few things. He needs to help build up his body though, as a bowler, for long term.
Again, beaten by pace.
What a ball by Usman.
That ball just, at good length and just a little bit past good length and the one that's been on the wicket has bothered batsmen. So 123 for 5. Almost 5 overs to go. You think they can get 50 in the last 5?
Well, I think Imran has gone in with the mindset of just trying to hit every ball.
I personally think it's going to be tough because Usman still has 2 more overs to go after this. And so far, he's only bowled 1 boundary ball.
Imran needs to watch out for his slower ball.
I think if Imran is, the smart thing for Imran to do would be not to try to hit this ball because he maybe get beaten by pace, but just play straight. Whether he gets a run or not, that's okay, but that should be his. I think Imran has better chances of scoring against other bowlers from the other end. Because he does have the ability to hit. He can clear the ground. So a good over by Usman. Successful over. 124 after 15. हेलो जहीर भाई कैसे हो आप सुनाइए बढ़िया Did you just recently get married? Did you go to Italy for your honeymoon?
No, I actually got.
Yeah, you got married in Italy?
Yes, I got married in Italy.
Your wife is from Italy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I went to Italy, yes. So where in Italy did you get married?
Well, we got married in Milan.
Okay, I went to Milan just recently.
Yeah, so I was there for about 12 days. I had to come back
Nice.
for work reason, and then but I had my reception here.
So is she Italian or is she Pakistani?
She's Pakistani Italian.
But she lived in Italy. Okay,
Yes.
I see. So that's a good bowling change. Getting the spinner out and bringing in the fast bowlers. I think it's going to be harder for these batsmen to hit boundaries against fast bowling compared to spin. You want to come? Come. We're going to have a little bit of a change in commentary over here. No, you sit. No, come and give a few hour or two. Come sit.
Commentary, yeah. That's talented born with.
No talented. You're talented player. No. Nothing like that.
Looks like no one else wants the mic.
Yeah, you've been great. I mean, it's been great having you here. That's going to be boundary. No fault of the bowler on that one. That was actually a very good ball.
Great ball. Everybody missed it, including the keeper.
Yes. Beat everybody. But runs are runs, so I'm sure Tigers will be happy with that.
Especially from Usman bowling from the other end. They will look to attack all the other balls and try to get some runs off them because Usman
Yes.
is bowling very
His
good.
is bowling really well. But even, this was a good ball, as we said. Just unlucky for for the bowler and lucky for the batting team.
But believe it or not, Usman wants to be known as a batsman. He takes pride in his batting. Never seen him clear the 30-yard circle, though.
Yeah, and it's funny when he comes into bat. I've never seen a more nervous batsman either. The pace of the bowler is bothering the batsman. They're getting late on the shot.
And he's bowling well as well. He's trying to
Yes.
keep the ball up.
Yes, he has. He's not putting it in the slot for them to just swing the bat. Now that one was a little bit of a length ball that he could have hit.
I think Imran was expecting the ball to be pitched up. It was just a bit back of the length, and that's why he missed it.
So we have a member of the EC fiddling with the camera. This we will not name him, but he has a tendency to fiddle with things.
Yeah, it's good that we don't mention his name right now.
Yes. That's a huge hit. He got a full toss and he made full use of it.
It looked like he was just waiting for that ball.
Much needed boundary for Imran. I think it gives him confidence when he does that. So that's a good over for Tigers. 12 runs in the over. So they're still on target. If they can capitalize on Uzi's over, if they can even get 7-8 runs in that over, they'll be very happy. They'll keep them on target for their 180 target that they may have. Well, initially it was 160. They can definitely get past that.
180 will be a great score. It'll be very hard to chase for 23 yards.
180 will be tough, but that's what they will be targeting. 136. 136. He got away with that. That was a ball that should have been put away for a boundary. So Usman will be very happy to only concede one on that.
He's going to be looking to bowl full now. His last 11 deliveries he has left in his spell. He's going to be looking to vary his pace as well and also bowl full.
Actually, he has not bowled a single slower ball yet. He's been bothering them with the pace. I think that lesson learned from that semifinal where his slower balls were dispatched for a lot of boundaries. He has generally tried to stay away from those slower balls.
Great throw again from the boundary.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks. So where does this go after the game? Okay, thanks. Thank you. Nice meeting you too. So you think there's going to be a boundary in this over at all?
There's a chance for a boundary. I have a feeling there will be one.
So I think if there is a boundary, it's going to have to come from Imran's bat. If Uzi's smart, he's going to bowl on the wicket to Imran. If he gives him that width that he's looking for, that could go for a boundary.
The way Imran is swinging, I think a thin outside edge will take the ball to the boundary as well.
That's his first slower ball that he bowled. That was the first slower ball that he bowled.
It was coming.
Yeah. He knew Imran was going to swing, and smart bowling by him.
It's not the first time he has gotten Imran's wicket with a slow ball. I remember in the night tournament, he also got him out with a slower delivery.
Yeah, so to me, Uzi and Dishi have been the standout bowlers today. And Japan has bowled well as well. But, you know, he has not been as consistent with some of the wides that he's bowled. But overall, he's bowled well.
And I think Usman hasn't given any extras away as well. No wides, no balls.
Yes. It's been one thing we haven't talked about. It's been great weather for cricket today. It's just been very pleasant and a great day to watch cricket.
You're absolutely right, Anubhai.
I think for those who did not come out today, they really missed out on an opportunity to watch great cricket under great conditions. So, Imran, were you not able to figure out that was a slower ball?
Still came too early.
Yeah.
Bowled a very good ball.
Yeah. It's over there. You can get one. They will. You ask them, they'll give you. So this was here from one of the guys who brought it. He wasn't drinking it. It's one of the guys who was. Okay, he'll throw it away. Hey, Derek. I think that should have been a single. But a great over. Only 4 runs in the over. Usman's bowled 3 overs for 16 for 3 wickets. He's been a standout bowler.
And this is what he has been doing throughout the whole year, especially in T20s. He comes after the 10 overs and bowls through. He's delivered exactly what his captain wants from him. And today has been a great performance again.
So where do you think this team goes next year? So a lot of the players, local players, have not had an opportunity to play. Do you think they will remain with the team next year? Or do you think they are dissatisfied with not having the opportunity to play and may look elsewhere?
I think the local players who didn't get an opportunity this year, they've stuck with this team. I've been playing for 22 yards, which used to be UMBC, since 2012, and I've been playing with the same players. Maybe a couple of them have left the team, but the support for the team is always there. They have supported them whether on the field or off the field, and they do understand what our goal is. And I think they've basically built this team and brought it to where it is right now. And well, I hope, and my thought is, I'm thinking that they would still be with the team and supporting them, because they know any point of time they will get a chance. And people who are sitting outside, they've been performing for this team for a long time, as you know. So they know they have the opportunity to get back and be part of the playing 11.
So that was a little bit of a lucky run.
Batsman had hard time playing the shot when he was bowling, and now fielders are having hard time making contact with his throws.
What do you think of Rossi's keeping overall? Do you think he's improved over the years?
Well, me and him started at the same time playing for this club, and I think he has improved a lot. But honestly, I feel he still has a long way to go, and he needs to keep working on his wicket keeping as well.
Yeah, I think he's certainly improved as a batsman. I've seen that. But I agree with you that he needs a little bit more work to do for his keeping.
I mean, especially with the structure of the team now, you have to be firing on all cylinders. If you're keeping, your keeping has to be on point. If you're batting, you need to bat well according to the situation. But I think, yeah, he still has a long way to go in improving his keeping.
And this dismissal was very similar to Abdullah's dismissal. Same type of ball, same type of shot, same result. Japan has bowled well.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. Japan is bowling really well, especially after his first over, in which he did pick up a couple of wickets, but he has controlled all his extras.
So we have a special guest, as you know, at the fall of the wicket, Ali Ibrahim. So Ali, where have you been this year? We have been, we have not seen or heard much of you. What's up with that?
Yeah, actually, I've been very busy trying to find my memory card, so I couldn't find it until last night. So finally, I found my 32 gig card, and I showed up here today. Inshallah, you guys will see some good highlights tonight. One would be Uzi bowling to Iman. Iman played a very poor shot, but Uzi actually decided, it was really high, but Uzi decided to take the catch, and that boy is very talented. And I'm very blessed to be part of this WCL, and what an amazing final we are having here. Good news is we got the boundary. Ooh.
So before you go, let's talk after this, at the end of this over. But I do want to talk to you about your friend DJ taking over Nitro, and what are your plans of if you're going to be joining him next year in Nitro?
Controversy, baby, controversy. Let's talk about it when the DJ is here, because I want him to verify everything I say, because I only speak the truth.
So what do you think? I've been a strong advocate of saying that his team went 0-11. And that they should be going down to Division 1 and then earn their way back up if they're good enough. What's your take on this?
Well, like I said, we shouldn't be living with hate for another year. I think the best thing would be, let's do face-to-face. Who? Nitro versus Dallas. The winner takes the PD. How about that, guys?
No, I don't think it works that way. You can't judge a whole season's thing with one game. So I'm not for that. I'm for... Oh, that's a... Anyway, during the innings break, I'm going to have a conversation with DJ and see what he says. I know he's going to say that he feels that his team should be staying up, but I want to have that debate with him during the innings break.
You know what the Desi auntie says? The Desi auntie says, well, we should stick with whatever the decision we made. Leave Nitro and PD. Less paperwork for the management. Well, that's... Again, very controversial statement. I'm just a messenger, so please don't shoot me. I'm just delivering the message.
Yes, thank you. Appreciate it. We know you have a direct hotline with the Desi aunties. So,
look, the application you can submit. We have like few more positions right now, and I would love to have anybody as my Desi auntie. Only if you have solid news.
Okay, so getting back to the game on hand, this is another really, really good over with only 2, 3, 4, 6 runs. I don't know who's updating it. 6 runs in that over. So, who is doing the scoring? Yeah.
Amazing job, Anubhai, and I love you. You have done a great job for WCL. Please don't stop riding. I hope you continue to ride, and I really, really do enjoy it, and I'm trust me, almost the entire WCL do enjoy it. The only thing that most folks have to say is you love writing so much, and I think they're accusing you, stating that you could be the anonymous, you could be the high roller, you could be the dice roller, or you could be the whatever roller is. So it looks like everybody's saying that Anu is the one, but can you please confirm if you are, oth- other than Anu, are you the actual high roller, low roller, whatever the roller, you know?
No, I'm glad you asked that question because when I have to say something, I'll say it with my name. So the only articles that I write are the ones that are with my name on it. None of the other articles are written by me. And the only thing I will say is if it's on our website and if it's written by somebody, I know who it is. But the things that are not written on our website, I have no idea who they are. People need to understand that.
Look, I trust Yonubai. At this age, what can you gain from lying, right? Anyway, a few more years left, then we all gonna, you're already old. I mean, I wouldn't say old, but no, you don't need to lie about this. So people need to understand that if Anuba is writing, then he will always list him as an actual author. Anything anonymous, well, they decided to say anonymous, so please don't blame him. He's such a nice guy. I'll vouch for him any day, any second, any minute. Not when it comes to money, though.
Thank you, Ali. But yeah, I mean, people need to understand. We've had so much success. We have no reason to do anything else. Yeah. Well, no. After the end of the innings, we will. But just to getting back to the game a little bit, I think the 22 yards has done a great job pulling things back. In the last 5-6 overs, they have not hardly given any boundaries. I think there's only been one that Imran hit a 6. Other than that, there have been no boundaries. So it's been a great pullback effort by 22 yards, and I think now I think initially they wanted to. Tigers said they wanted 160. I think they'll get to 160, but I think at one point they were poised for 180, which I don't think they're going to get to now. So I think that wicket of Derek really made a huge difference in stemming the runs. Ooh. And I think that cost them 20 runs.
I think we should say something about Usman. How much he has improved. Because I
played a role of a catalyst, bringing the score down. I think they were easily looking to get 180, 185.
Yeah. And there's another wicket. That's his fourth wicket. Yes. And that finishes his spell. 4 for 23 and 4. It's excellent bowling. Bowling, later on in the innings is not easy. And he's gone for less than 6 runs per over, which is a great tribute to him. And 4 wickets and none bigger than Derek. And of course, also Imran's wicket. He's been the difference maker.
I think an excellent spell of 4 overs, probably one of the best I've seen.
Yeah.
He rarely gave a bad ball, especially coming in under pressure to bowl, and he had to deliver, and he did.
Yes. I think if 22 yards go on to win this game, he will certainly be in consideration for man of the match.
He'll be my man of the match.
Well, we don't know what happens in the batting yet, but he's certainly in consideration at this point. At the end of this, let's put it this way. At the end of this innings, he's the leading contender for man of the match.
Definitely.
So I think this will be interesting. The last over is being bowled by Pavan. It's always dangerous to have a spinner bowl the last over. And, this is where Tigers would love to, if they can get a couple of boundaries in this over and, take that momentum going into their bowling.
Pawan hasn't bowled that well in this innings, but the captain is still showing confidence in him.
Yeah, I think at this point his choice was either Pawan or Shahid Hanif or Himayu, but either way it would have been a spinner. I think these were the three, and I think he went with somebody who has delivered for him over the course of the year. It's a white ball. And again, I think Pavan got away with that because if there was bat on ball on that, that would have been a boundary. That was a wide. Was it not given? The wicket keeper is injured. I think the ball directly hit the keeper. I don't think it hit anybody else.
I think he caught one on the kneecap.
But he certainly got away with it because I think it was a white ball, but not given.
Maybe the umpire has a better view. Probably flicked something.
So what do you think? 1-6 in this over coming or no, not coming?
I think the ball spinning away from the right-hander, it'll be a bit tough, but Pavan has been bowling a bit short in his spell today. So if the batsman gets a short one, he can definitely go and score a leg.
So I think one of the things that Mirza Beg might want to try, the ball is spinning away from him and is already pitched outside off, and he's trying to go to mid wicket. Maybe he might want to try going over extra cover.
That'll be a better option.
So consecutive wides. Score should be getting closer to 160 at this point, 155. That's a wide ball again. Wow, 5 runs in the over and none from the bat so far.
This is not good bowling at all, especially for someone like Pavan.
That was a good ball. But I think Humayun would feel a little bit that he probably should have gotten bat on that. And a misfield cost 3 extra runs to 22 yards. And that takes the score over 160. Imran must be very happy now that he's reached his target score.
.22 yards fielding has not been up to the mark in this final. I think they have leaked at least 20 runs.
And now here's the last ball of the innings. You expect a googly or he's going to bowl a fast leg spinner?
He's just going to bowl a ball that's not a wide. That's what I feel.
The batsman, you think, is going to step out and hit him?
I don't think so.
No. Good fielding there to keep it to a single. So the target that Tigers have set is 164 to win. So 163 is a good score, I think. I mean, still 22 yards did a good job pulling it back. I think about 15, 20 runs. But Tigers, I think, are overall happy that the target that they had in mind before going into bat, they have achieved. So it should be a compelling second half.
Definitely, Tigers should be happy with this score. They will look to defend it, and I think they can, and they have the ability to. But also, on the other hand, if you look at 22 yards batting, they have batsmen all the way to number 10.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a fun second innings. So let's see if we can get the captain and also Usman to talk about their performance. Where's Ricken? So 163 is the score that Tigers have put in. A good score. We have Usman here. Usman, excellent bowling performance.
Thank you.
I personally think that your bowling spell saved you 20 runs. Especially the wicket of Derek, because he was batting really well, and you taking his wicket was the key, and you took 4 wickets for 23 runs and an excellent 4-over spell.
Thank you. Yeah, I feel good actually, and that's my thing, to bowl in like death overs, and Ricken always like put it on me, and I try my best to always perform that.
I mean, I've seen you over the years, and I think this has been your best year in terms of your bowling.
Yeah.
You've increased your pace, and you've also increased your accuracy. What are the kinds of things you've done to get that improvement?
Mostly like we've been practicing like off season, and like Ricken has put like responsibility on me over the years, and like so I have to carry it, and that's why I've been like trying my best, honestly.
So what do you think of the score? 163.
Chaseable, easily, should be okay. We have a good batting side, good pros, should be okay.
So you're happy with it?
Yep.
Okay, thank you, Uzi. Thanks. So I'm hoping that I can get to Ricken real quick, but Ricken. Oh, sorry. Okay, anyway. Can't control that. So, Ricken, at the beginning of the innings, I asked you what score that you would like, and you had said 120. They've scored 163. So, what's your take?
I said 130, but I mean, we did give away a little more runs than what I expected. Nothing taking away from Derek. He played an exceptional inning, but our bowlers also assisted him in bowling bad balls. But I mean, I think on this wicket, ball is coming on to the bat pretty nicely. So I think 160 is still gettable, and we have a good batting lineup. So I'm hoping it shouldn't be a problem for us.
So, you also dropped a few catches, and there were some misfields in the game. Do you think that contributed to another extra 20 runs at least?
Yes, I mean, I think Pawan dropped Derek when he was 25-30, and then he went on to score in excess of 60 runs, I think. So yeah, that catch might have saved us some runs, but I mean, stuff like this happens in cricket, so we just have to take it in our stride, and whatever they have put on, we just gotta chase it.
I was very, very impressed with 2 bowlers, especially. Dishant bowled really well in starting from the power play, and then Usman's 4-over spell in later on. What's your take on those 2?
Dishant is a nice addition to our team this year. He has been one of the best bowlers, the most consistent bowlers in our league throughout the years now. So he has done exceptionally well for us on his first year. Usman, as always, he has been pick of our bowlers since he has started playing for us. So that is expected out of him. That's why I usually keep him for the end, because slog overs, we need bowler like him to save some runs, and he always gets us wickets. So yeah, that's expected out of them. They practice hard towards it, and you can see the results.
And Japan also bowled pretty well. I mean, he was a little wayward in his first over, but he got 2 wickets. That made a big difference. So do you think having Japan, you kind of didn't miss having Sunny a little bit?
I mean, Sunny has been our go-to bowler, and he is also one of our major strengths when it comes to batting. So we obviously will miss him, but as I said before, I think Japan fills in that void pretty nicely because he bowls and bats, and I'm hoping he'll score some runs for us today.
So 163. I asked Uzi saying it's a piece of cake. You think it's a piece of cake, or you think it's going to be a close game?
I think it's a par score on this wicket. So if we bat to our potential, I think we can get it 163 because the wicket is behaving nicely and the outfield is fast. So I think 163 is gettable, but I mean we would have to bat to our potential. I mean you just can't go in and slog. I mean you need time to settle down and you have to fire it out initially and then eventually capitalize on the bowlers.
All right, thank you very much, and good luck for the second innings. Thanks. So we'll take a few minutes break here before the inning starts. I do want to bring in DJ and a couple of things, if I can find him. So we have Farooq Jan with us here. Farooq, first of all, congratulations on putting a nice atmosphere here with your music and everything like that. So you made it a good atmosphere here. And so what I wanted to talk to you about is, what's your take? Well, let's first start with your take on today's game. What do you think at the halfway point?
First of all, thanks for inviting me here, Anubhai. I think it's going to be a very competitive final because Tiger has put a very decent total, and let's see what's going to happen. First 5 over will tell us.
Okay. So right now you think the Tigers are in a good position to win?
Yes, always.
Okay, I can see you're a Tiger supporter, which is good. All right, so now let's talk a little bit about your team, Nitro. You guys went 0-11. Why do you think that Nitro should be allowed to stay in Premier Division?
I think the way we took over the team a night before the transfer deadline, I couldn't get all my pro guys from WCL. So, that was the major reason of 11-0, whatever that was. But, next year we transferring our buddies who are playing good cricket with good stats. And also we're going to bring pros from outside. And my history, better than anyone that I've been bringing player competing all around the US Open, Friendship Cup, and I will bring the guys from outside.
No, I get that, but the thing is, the league can't base things on what can be done. League has to base things on results that are already in front of them.
Okay.
So I've been on record saying that a team that the league rules say that the bottom 2 teams should fall. That's the rule. Whether somebody decides to also come down or not come down, in my opinion, should be immaterial. A team that meets that, doesn't meet that requirement of not finishing the bottom 2 need to fall. So that's where I'm coming from. So I think that it's got nothing to do with your team or Nitro. In general, I'm saying that the bottom 2 teams should fall, and it should be based on the results on the ground. So let's assume for a second that if the league decides that your team is going to fall, I mean, we don't know. Right now it doesn't look like it, but in case they said to do that, are you still planning on having a top quality team in Division 1?
Absolutely. That's the only way to make it up, and whatever league decide, I cannot force them to keep me up there or send us down. So it's up to league hand, but they cannot throw us down and bring someone from the lower division 1, because if they were that good, they could have been up there, anyway, but with their performance.
Okay, sounds good. So next year we can look forward to having like a great team from Nitro.
From the first game, 40 season. I'm not promising T20, but 40 over, yes.
Why not the T20? You don't want to win the T20 trophy?
I'll win T20 with my locals, I know that.
Okay, I'm certainly looking forward to seeing some of your games next year.
And you give me your email, I gotta send you the contract.
Thank you, DJ. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks. So as always, it's always a fun to talk to DJ, and he's promising a great team next year. So look forward to that. Ooh. All right, so back to the game. Sorry that went a little long, but we're now back to the game. Okay, thanks. Take care. So this is going to be a fun contest. Shahid Hanif loves to go after the bowlers. That's his style of play. He does not care who's bowling at him. He just wants to go after you. And Imran has a lot of experience, and it's going to be a lot of fun watching how Imran, what his plan of attack is going to be to Shahid. I know for a fact that if the ball is pitched up, Shahid's going to go for it. So hey, so it's going to be a fun contest. And there he goes. He got a little bit of width on that, and he drove that through covers. I think we're going to have an exciting final here. This is a good competitive score, but if Tigers don't have regular breakthroughs, 22 yards has the firepower to take this thing in less than 20 overs. Oh, that's a good ball by Imran. So we have Srinivas Simhadri with us here. Srini, it's good to see you. It's been a while. Yeah. So Srini, what do you think of this game?
It's been a while I actually followed any leather ball game, like especially in the T20. But this looks like an exciting game. It's shaping up to be a good game. So
definitely. Well, first of all, congratulations to your team for winning the T20 in Division 1.
Thank you so much. Yeah. The Cosmos, we did great this season, and I hope we'll be doing well in the PD tournament next year.
And this is exactly what I said. If the ball's pitched up to him, Shahid Hanif is going to go over the top, and that's exactly what he's done. Imran has to make sure that he does not pitch the ball up to Shahid. Srini, for me, it's always very difficult to imagine you not being a part of our team. I've always thought of you as, part of
our core team, right?
Yeah, our core team. Yeah. So it takes me a while just to get adjusted to the fact that you're a member of Cosmos, because to me, you're always a member of my team.
Of course. I still feel the same thing. That's why, after I gave up cricket for like 6 years, it feels so strange to be on the field and playing for a different team rather than playing under Anu. So, yeah, but it's good to be on the field, though.
Yes, I'm so happy. I'm so happy to see you playing, and I was really extremely happy to see you when you scored a 50 this year.
I did, and surprisingly, I scored a 50. That's the surprising part. So, yeah.
I don't know. I think you've done worked hard on your batting, and it shows.
Yeah, I've been playing a lot of tennis ball cricket these days. Maybe that can help in a way, but.
So can we expect you to play much more regularly next year?
I don't know. It all depends on the family and the commitment. So
yeah,
I guess that ball just skid off the.
Yeah, wicket. That ball just stayed low, and a little bit unlucky for the batsman that he absolutely had no chance at that ball. He was expecting the ball to be come much higher, and he was positioning himself to play a pull shot, and then the ball stayed really low. So
exactly, there's not even a chance for him to actually get the bat down. So.
Yes.
Yeah,
So
unlucky for the batsman.
Unlucky for the batsman, but a great break for Tigers. So this is I would say a good start for Tigers. I mean, they went for 9 runs in that over, but they have an important wicket of Shahid Hanif. So I think Tigers will take that.
Definitely.
So what do you think about the Premier Division cricket this year?
So I have played 3 40-over games in the Premier Division this season for Cosmos. The first 2 games, we were just hammered. I mean, the competition in the PD is like amazing, as you know. There are so many players with like high caliber, coming and playing in WCL. So there are huge scores, and with the ball traveling a lot. I mean, with the bats these days, the ball travels a long way. And but it's good in a way that all the local players will get an exposure. But I believe our Cosmos players, we did really well, especially with only the local talent in the PD and staying in PD with a record of 5-6, I believe. We did a good job this season.
So overall, you're happy with not only how your team played, but you like how PD is structured and the level of competition there.
I'm not sure about the structure. If I'm happy with the structure and all, that's a different topic.
Yeah.
But the competition definitely is very higher in PD. It's much different than when we played back in 2010, 2011.
Sure.
So.
Sure. Yeah, the level of the amount of high quality players that are coming in to play in this league now is definitely way higher than it was 5, 6, 7 years ago.
Definitely. That's what I noticed actually. After all these years away, I found that the level of the players is totally different. Yeah, it's huge.
Yes. So how did it feel like bowling to these guys?
I only bowled very few overs this season. In the 3 games I've played, I hardly bowled 5 or 6 overs. But man, it's different. If you are bowling to a Ranji player or a Caribbean player who played in like CPL, it's a totally different ball game than bowling to our local players. So it's kind of challenging, but I guess you gotta take it with a pinch of salt and then just go ahead with the bowling. So
yeah, did it remind you of the time when we were playing with Bengals, and then remember we had a couple of years when we played against Tigers, and they had international players coming in and playing for them from Pakistan?
I totally remember Imran Nazir playing against us in one of the games for Tigers, I believe.
Yes.
He got his wicket and I caught the ball. If you remember.
Yeah, I remember that.
Long off.
Yes.
So yeah, it's totally, those days teams used to have 1 or at most 2 players who are coming from outside and of all these high caliber players. But now it's like 5-6 players every game. So it's tough to cope up, especially with the local talent. So
Yes. But it certainly, I'm sure, brought back those memories of bowling to international players.
Of course,
at
totally.
that time.
Yeah.
So how have you been bowling? I mean, over the past year or so, because I haven't seen you bowl in a while.
I guess I'm more like a batting all-rounder now rather than a bowler. I used to play typically as a bowler in the team before, but now they consider me as someone who can actually smash the ball rather than come and bowl and take wickets. So I guess if you're giving under 6 runs per over, they will take it. So that's what I've been trying, not for wickets, but just keep it under 6 runs per over.
I have to come watch you bat one of these days. I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun for me to watch you.
I'm not sure if you'll be able to watch me again because it's going to be next season and it's a long way to go.
Yeah, that's true. But I do want to come see you, and if you remember, I texted you next time you're playing. Let me know in advance so I can come. I don't know if you played after that, but I do want to see you bat.
Totally.
So actually next year.
We played our T20 quarters at Lake Fairfax against Sri Lankan.
Yeah.
That was my last game.
Oh, that's a drop catch, and I think it may have hit the helmet. I think that should be 5 runs. I'm not sure, but I think it might have hit the helmet.
I guess it was pretty close, but it did not hit the helmet.
Okay,
it was
you don't
pretty
think
close.
So? Okay.
Yeah, the fielder was really close to the helmet, but the ball just rolled away from the helmet. So.
Okay, all right. Because I thought the ball changed direction, but I'm not. Okay, you probably have a better vantage point than I do. But that's definitely an opportunity missed. That was a catch there.
And not a difficult that one too.
No, regulation catch and a big wicket. But I guess it is what it is.
Definitely.
Yeah. So what do you think? Who do you think is going to win this game?
It's a tough call to make. I love to see 22 yards win because so many of my teammates from Infinite Eagles from the MCPL League play for 22 yards.
Okay.
So I definitely want 22 yards to win this and the championship as well. My heart goes for 22 yards. So
Okay.
let's see.
Fair enough. I think they have deep batting, so they certainly have a chance to win this game, and they are a very good T20 team. So it'll be. I think it'll be a fun finish to this game.
They totally are a very deep batting lineup they have. I really hope James will get a chance and smack some balls outside the park. That guy is awesome.
So I'm assuming James is your favorite player here from your team, your tennis ball team.
Definitely, he's the man.
All right, thank you so much, Srini. It's always a pleasure to talk to you.
You too, Anu. It's nice to meet you after a long time.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks. So after after 2 overs, they've lost 1 wicket, and Imran is coming back again to see if he can get another wicket in this over. But they have made a good breakthrough with Shahid Hanif's wicket, because Shahid Hanif is an aggressive attacking batsman, and if he had stayed there for a few overs, the score would have been ticking very, very fast. Yeah, change hona chahiye. It's okay before. It's showing this, but I don't know why it's showing that. Oh, and Imran does strike in his second over. Batsman goes back on a ball that he should have come forward and pays the price. So Tigers have struck yet again. Yeah, this one. Yeah. So Tigers got what they wanted. They wanted to get Humayun in early so they can get him out. And that's exactly what has happened. Humayun comes in. 2 wickets have gone down for 15 runs in the third over. So, although 22 yards bat deep, but there's a little bit of pressure now with 2 wickets have fallen. तेरे लिए. So this should be an exciting contest between Imran and Humayun. Bit of a mishit, and if it's a direct hit, he might have been out. I'm not sure, but definitely a mishit. And Batsman a little lucky that it didn't go to hands. Imran bowling well. He's trying to keep the ball on the wickets. Doesn't want to give the batsman room because Japan loves to have that little bit of room, little bit of width. And that's exactly what he has done. He got that width and he converted. So Imran spoils his over with the last ball, but still overall a good over with a wicket. And 6 runs in the over. So overall, I would say good over for Tigers so far. Down the leg wide. That's well played to mid wicket for a single. So 22 for 2 after 3. Come sit with me. Come do some commentary.
I don't know the state of the game, man.
Don't worry, just enjoy. So we have the great George Kleiber joining us. George, first of all, thank you for joining us. It's already on.
Oh, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure, I know.
So, what do you think of the atmosphere here today?
It could be more exciting, but still, it's good.
Yeah, I mean, on a beautiful day like this, I was expecting more people out here.
Yeah.
I guess it's hard to top that 40 over final, huh?
Yes. But this is still the most exciting aspect of cricket these days, so.
Yes.
Nice shot.
So what do you think how the game is poised?
Well, I just found out the score was 20 for 2, and now it's like 24.
Yeah, it's 23, and they're chasing 164.
Well, I know I prepared a good batting wicket, so that should be a manageable total.
Yeah, but did you see how that first wicket fell? That ball stayed low. The one that Shahid Hanif got out to.
I wasn't here at then.
Okay, just now, 3 overs ago. But yeah, other than that, the wicket has played really well.
Yeah, it took a lot of hard work under very trying circumstances to get water and everything to this ground. Since the park has cut off the water in this field.
Why is that?
I think there was an issue with the pipe leaking.
Okay. But this is an exciting pair batting. You have, Humayun on one end and Japan, who's also an exciting batsman. I think this is a key wicket for these guys. If they can get this, if they can make this breakthrough, I think the pressure then will be squarely on 22 yards. As long as these two guys are on the wicket, I think the pressure will continue to be on Tigers.
Well, I've watched Tigers, and I don't like the depth of their bowling, so that could come back to haunt them.
Well, Daniel is still to bowl, and so just as you said that slower ball was dispatched.
Yes, he was lucky to get away earlier with that one down the leg side, but this one was there for the taking.
Yeah.
Well hit over the deep, long on boundary there for a six.
Yes. So George, how would you rate this overall season?
Well, this was a season in which we saw one batsman scoring above 1,000 runs. That boy, Rupnarayan.
Yes, juicy.
And there were some other very good batting performances from some of the players with some international experience.
So what's your take on all this debate about international players or outside players coming into play? You think there should be some restriction on how many per team?
Yes, some consideration should be given to number of international players that appear in the teams, but at the moment we have to think of bringing some excitement to the game that would attract local players and show them what it is to be better players. I will be very cautious with restrictions.
So you think it's a difficult problem to address, which the new administration is going to have to tackle? George, do you have any plans for running for any of the positions?
I have served every position in the executive except the presidency.
But are you
I'm
planning
not
on
running for president.
But are you planning on running for any other position?
I wouldn't mind being associated with the executive committee.
What position do you think you would be a good fit for?
I've been active in this league for over 30 years. And as much as we would like to see new ideas, I think we have to rely on stability as well. We have to rely on the trusted members. We have seen an influx of new executive position persons over the last year, and they haven't lasted because this is an unrewarding activity. People have other commitments that take precedence, or they're allowed to take precedence easily.
Yeah, I think that those are valid points. So Danielle comes into bowl, so this is going to be interesting to see how. I am very. So Humayun likes to go over mid wicket, and that's completely vacant for him right now. So if Danielle pitches the ball slightly up, that ball's going to mid wicket, and that's exactly where he intended to hit that shot. Even though he missed it.
Daniel has been getting a lot of good exposure, and even though he is not the biggest turner of the leg spin, I think he should bring some of the experience to his bowling here. Definitely keeping the ball outside the off stump.
But do you think that his field is correct? Do you think long on, long off is the right field, or do you think long on and mid wicket would be the better field?
Well, I see Humayun is not the batsman right now.
Humayun is the batsman right now.
He is?
Yes.
He should have his deep mid wicket.
Yes. This is going to be an interesting contest between these two.
I am glad to see Humayun batting earlier in the lineup, because I think the last time I saw 22 yards play, they lost because this guy batted way down the line, and a game which was theirs to win, they just lost. And there we go.
Yep, this is what I was saying. He's going to want to anything ball that is pitched up, he wants to go there, and then finally Daniel makes that fielding change that I was talking about. I think this is the more correct field, and actually even now I think his field is wrong. because I think the long on position that he has needs to be needs to be wider. I think he's too straight, because the way Humayun bats, he's gonna go a lot squarer than straighter.
And someone should be manning that area.
Well,
Well, it's a pity that they had to wait and see him hit another ball in that area before.
Yeah. So that's more reactive, right?
Yep.
So now he does have a fielder there. Well, at least I think he will have a fielder there. Maybe not. He's still sticking to his.
I think he's bowling to the plan that he would miss trying to hit the ball there.
Well, I'm not sure I agree with this, but okay.
Sometimes you have to work it that way.
I don't expect him to hit the ball at long off at all. I think the ball's going to go mid wicket again. Because, like you said, if you're not turning big, it's not going to matter. You know, unless you're turning, getting a top edge isn't going to happen.
Yeah. You're not going to move the long off.
Yeah. See, now he finally moves him in.
Yep.
I think on this one it wouldn't have mattered even if he had a field, because he hit it square, much more square. But he still needs to change his field. I would make him hit the ball straighter, because that's not what he wants to do. So I would make the long on fielder go squarer, much further, and then have that mid wicket fielder. So it's a slightly better field that he has now, but I still think he can do better. I think the field can be even better for him.
Well, here, as we could hear from the commentary behind us, bowl the ball wider. That's exactly what Danny did, and bowled it a little faster.
Yeah, but you can tell Danny's under pressure.
Yeah, Danny is under pressure. He is the senior bowler in this team, and it's still within the restricted 6 overs, so only 2 men beyond the 30-yard circle.
That was a good ball. That was his best ball of this over, and he's unlucky that the ball bounced enough that it went over the wickets.
So how many overs are they?
So this is the end of over number 5, and the run rate is very good. I mean, they're scoring at 8 runs per over, which is what they need.
I can see the very pensive look there in Mr. Anand Patel.
I think Anand right now is probably relaxed, but I'm interested to see what happens when the 4th and the 5th bowler come on to bowl for Tigers, and if at that time Humayun is still on the wicket.
Yes, as I've said, the Tigers bowling isn't very penetrative, and after these opening bowlers, the batsmen should have much more opportunities at free scoring. That's the wide.
Oh, but that's good keeping. That is excellent keeping. That was not an easy ball to stop.
Keeper there, tall, Mr. Vantel. He has a good grasp of wicket keeping.
A little lucky there, batsman. He got the edge, but it didn't go to hands. It went into the gap. I think the fielder at short third is too fine. He needs to be a little bit square. And had he been, the ball would have come to him.
It's sometimes real hit and miss when you're.
Yeah, but at that pace, I think the fielder was way too fine, I think. But now it's much better. And I do think that they still have 1 fielder too many in that area. 3 fielders, 2 would have been enough.
Wide.
But
not a good take from the wicketkeeper Vantel.
yeah, I'm very impressed with Vantul's keeping.
Can you guys excite our fans? They're complaining about the commentary. They're saying it's not exciting.
So what do you want us to do?
Are you guys
entertain them? Yes, I am.
Is it clear? Can you hear clearly?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. So
entertain us.
So you want some
throw some jokes jokes in there.
Oh, I thought
banter in there.
you meant put some controversial
Oh, no, no,
topics or
no,
discussions.
no.
Yeah. So the people watching here want entertainment from commentary. I thought the commentary was for people who were not here.
That must speak a bit about the cricket in the middle.
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. They're not focused on the on the cricket they're watching. They're more focused on our conversation.
That means we should do a better job, or try to do a better job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So so what do you think of Derek's bowling so far? I think it's been a little bit inconsistent. It's been a little bit bowling too far off outside the off stump. So this will.
Well, this would be the end of the first period of restrictions.
Yes.
6 overs coming to an end. And hopefully the batsmen will be more comfortable and look to play a few more shots. There definitely will have to be more running between the wickets.
Yes.
And there's a nice
Hit.
well played
6.
sweep for 6.
He swept him like a spinner was bowling. It just shows you how what the skill level he has. That he can easily. Yeah, he likes to play. Humayun likes to play square of the wicket. He loves to go that square leg mid wicket area, and that's exactly what he did in this case.
Over the season, I've had a chance to see him play on many occasions, and
yeah, I'm not understanding why they don't have
exciting innings from Humayun
yeah,
today.
yeah, and that's why I'm saying I don't understand why they have a long off, long on for him as opposed to a mid wicket. And there he goes again.
Big hit from Humayun for 6.
So he made sure that he ended the power play with a bang.
Yes, he ended the power play with 2 lovely 6s into the backward square.
So interestingly, the score is pretty much the same that Tigers had at the end of the 6-over power play. I think the score then was 57 or 58 as well for the loss of 2 wickets. And here we have 22 yards at 59 for 2. So not much to pick from in terms of at this stage of the game.
But the big thing is that Humayun has been in there for a couple overs, and he seems well set and timing the ball and hitting nicely. And
yeah, so it was Derek was doing the same thing when Tigers were batting. So now I think it gets more interesting now with 5 fielders out. It'll be interesting to see the approach that Humayun takes now. Does he continue to play those shots, or does he focus more on 1s and 2s and only dispatch the bad balls?
well, I haven't seen him as being a man who looks for singles, and that could be his downfall shortly.
But I think that semifinal loss might have made a difference to his mindset, and he may play a different type of an innings.
22 yards has been very committed to the season, and I'm sure they want to go home with a trophy. So, let's see what Danny does here. Danny starts with a short ball.
Yeah, he got away with that. If that ball was put in the gap, it would have been a boundary.
Yes, he would. That's not enough. It's not going to float. I don't think he's going to float anything. Yeah, Danny keeping it on the string.
Yeah, plus I think Danny is happy bowling to Japan. He would rather have Humayun stay on the non-striker's end.
Well, that quick single shows that they're thinking. Get Humayun on strike against Danny.
I would actually take that. deep cover point, cover person, and put another player at mid wicket area, and see if Humayun can go over covers. See if he wants to go over covers. Because it's very difficult for the players fielding at mid wicket right now because of the sun coming directly in their eyes. That's a tough fielding
They need
position
to be prepared, man. That's
at this
why
point.
They send sunglasses. They know the circumstances.
But you can see they have a hard time seeing.
That's because they're not well prepared. Humayun throws
And he
away
gets
his
him.
wicket. Danny gets the better of him.
And that's a huge wicket. I think that's the wicket that they were really looking for, and they've gotten it. I think that was very smart bowling on Dani's part. He slowed it down. Tigers are ecstatic to not have to bowl to Humayun anymore. So this is another important pair. Pavan and Japan now have to take this thing to a point where, the pressure is less, because after this, you're going to have all the local players coming into play, into bat, and that's going to add a lot of pressure.
Well, I must say that approach by Humayun to the last delivery that got him out was all but irresponsible. And Danny was good to keep his head and just bowl the ball on the stump.
Yeah, that was a very good ball. He really slowed that ball down. And I think that's what surprised Humayun a little bit. He was expecting the ball to come a little bit quicker to him.
Nice. Okay, and Pawan gets away with
So a very good over by Dani. Only 2 runs in the over and a big wicket.
Yes, Danny made a breakthrough that Tigers so dearly needed. Humayun contributing greatly to his own demise. It's now to be seen what Pawan could do. We've seen Pawan play a lot of big innings over the season, but he's under pressure now. Still another 100 runs needed. So with about how many? About 12 overs? Or
13
overs
more, yes.
Needed about
103.
103, oh my. Just under 9 runs and over.
But I think it's going to be a fun and exciting finish. At least that's what I'm hoping.
In the context of T20 cricket, bat inside is still well placed.
So we have a new bowler. It's an interesting action for this bowler. That's a short ball. He's lucky to get away with it. Actually, he's not lucky to get away with it because of misfield.
Immature fielding there.
Should have anticipated that turn.
Yes. Then at the backward square position, the ball has a way of making a shot. sharp turn towards the end of its journey. Cowan made good use of a short ball and got himself a fork.
Yes.
Forcing the bowler go on the other side of the track. Another short ball which is punched into the cover and they take a single.
So what do you think of this bowler's action? Take a look at his action. And so wickets in back-to-back overs. And that's another big wicket that has gone with Japan. And that now brings in the local players into the mix. And we have Mr. President with us here. So from 59 for 2, they're at 66 for 4 now.
Yeah, that was Vantel doing his best behind the stump, being compensated for good work with a nice catch.
Yes. Now James, the new batsman, and certainly has the ability to clear the field very easily. But he's certainly going to be under pressure. He has to score, but they can't afford to lose more quick wickets. So it's a bit
Any
of a
information on the new batsman? James, you think?
yes, James. He's a big hitting batsman.
A big hitting batsman.
Yes.
Well, let's see if he restrains
When
himself.
when a ball comes out the middle of his bat, that ball stays hit.
I was very good bowling from the bowler from the bottom end there. Changed his line and just had the ball drifting outside the off stump and getting rewarded with a catch behind the wicket. Same ball and he's bowled down. A big swing.
Terrible first ball up. Not a good shot to hit. Without getting a feel for the wicket, without getting a feel for the bowler, James goes for a big hit first ball and pays the price. And with that, half the team.
We can say that scoreboard pressure is really taking the toll in 22 yards.
So we have a new batsman. I've never seen him bat, so I have no idea what type of a batsman he is. But he didn't bowl, so I assume he's a batsman. So the bowler's on a hat trick.
Which he will have to pursue against a new batsman who is like new to us.
I'm going to venture a guess that this batsman is not going to have a wild swing at this ball.
Let's see, batsman's on a hat trick, which is one of the rare occurrences in cricket. And let's see if he survives. That's hat trick ball. Up, over, down the leg side.
Wide ball.
Turned out to be a wide. Vantel making quick work of removing the bails, but batsman maintained his ground.
He almost lost his balance, but he didn't. But he managed to keep it.
my God, he could be out LBW.
Oh, and he is.
And he is
That was
out
a terrible
LBW.
shot.
Almighty.
That was a terrible
What
shot.
a terrible shot for a big-time cricketer.
Who is he? Do
Or
you
a
know him?
supposedly big-time cricketer.
This over has completely, the last 2 overs have completely
Umpire
changed this
had
game
no
around.
hesitation on giving the LBW decision.
Wow. What a turnaround in the last 2 overs.
And
That
in
was a nothing.
comes the captain for 22 yards, Mr. Rickens.
I'm sorry, but that was a nothing ball and a nothing shot.
It might be a nothing batsman too.
That I do not know because I've never seen him bat.
Well, his approach to the 2 balls he faced up to weren't real good.
Yes. So
And
67
Tigers
for
are
6.
high in the saddle right now. Looking to take the game away with time to spare.
Now a lot of pressure on Pawan. He needs to stay there till the end now. No. There's a white ball. But it's still not three consecutive deliveries. Hat-trick, by definition, is 3 consecutive deliveries, not 3 consecutive legal deliveries. 3 consecutive, not legal.
A 3 wicket he get, right?
Yeah, but it's not a hat-trick.
It's not a trick. That's
No.
what I told him. It's not a trick. You have to bowl 3 balls. You have to bowl 3 balls.
So there were 3 wickets and 4 deliveries, one of them being a wide, and
Yes.
a big discussion on whether that constitutes a hat trick. According to the rules, it does not. And okay. A lot of burden here on Pawan now. And Captain Ricken.
So Ricken has a lot of ability. I think he needs to just put his head down and just support Pawan. And I think if he does that, he can. He has the talent.
But I know, they haven't been forced to bat. These batsmen down the order.
That's the thing, right?
They haven't been forced to play
They
real
have
bat for the entire
yes,
season.
they haven't had to feel the pressure.
Right, and this pressure in a final could be telling. And he comes forward again, but that's a nice delivery there from
Yes.
Danielle.
I think Ricken's job here is to take singles and let Pawan be the main scorer. Of course, if there's a bad ball, he needs to punish it too.
Okay. Daniel eases the pressure a little there with a wide. But I'm sure Ricken's heart is pumping. His team really needs him to stay there. Can he do it? And not a well-timed shot, but he's safe.
But yeah, in between 2 fielders.
But you could see there must be a whole lot of tension.
I think
in his batting right now.
he's if that ball was better timed, he might have been caught.
Quite possible. He should learn from that and restrict his stroke play a little more until he gets a little more comfortable. But scoreboard pressure is a big thing with batting. And there you go. Another good ball from Daniel, keeping it outside the off stump, not giving it much flight. Using all his
I think Daniel is feeling a lot less pressure now. He's bowling with a lot more confidence after getting the big wicket of Humayun. You can tell just in his body language.
Yeah, I think Tigers are ready to roar.
That was a run, I think, missed.
Tigers are ready to roar. They know
Given
they
who-
have,
That's a run missed.
they have broken the back of the 22 yards batting. The only thing now is a matter of time, but let's hope that that doesn't lead to complacency here.
Well, from a purely spectator's point of view that I'm looking at it, I want 22 yards to make a game of it so that it's an exciting finish. It doesn't matter to me who wins or loses, but I want a close and exciting finish. Right now, Tigers are on top.
Yeah, you just don't buy that,
Yeah.
Players have to produce that.
I'm hoping that this pair can put together a partnership that makes this game exciting.
We got to watch the guile of the bowler. The bowler who just had those 3 wickets is bowling with a great degree of the guile. I don't know if Ricken could survive this.
I think Ricken can. I don't think that this bowler is unplayable.
No, it's not unplayable. It's just the pressure of the situation. Nice ball, and he could be out LBW. Umpire says it's down the leg side.
But
Lucky,
Ricken should have been able to hit that ball. That ball was
Very
short,
shaky right now.
and he didn't keep his head steady.
This is not looking good for 22 yards. Third delivery of the over. Nice, well done. He's going to be given out. Yes, he is given out. LBW.
This bowler has completely
The batsman
decimated
showed no understanding
of the situation.
not at all.
So now we have the last legitimate batsman coming in, because after that it's Usman, who is not known to be a batsman.
This is very unfortunate for a final. Batsman not showing any application. We must not forget the bowler.
So I will have to say that your prognostication of your assessment of Tigers' bowling not being very good was greatly exaggerated.
We have seen 4 wickets fall to a bowler who is just slow through the air, keeping it around the wicket, and batsmen not giving the right response to the bowling. Here he comes again, slow.
So right now, this bowler has given 6 runs for 4 wickets in his 10 balls that he's bowled, or 9 balls. Those are amazing numbers in any format of the game.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Oh. Let's see if. Hey, watch. Oh my God, he could be out. He's not given out for a caught behind.
The keeper didn't even appeal, so I wasn't too convinced that was an out.
And the batsman still showing no understanding of how to deal with this bowler.
Yeah.
Slow and low and turns.
So the required run rate is quickly approaching 10.
And the batsmen are surely running out. They're surely running out of batsmen. How many wickets are down?
8 wickets are
8
gone.
wickets are down.
Well, actually, this shows 7, so 7 wickets are done.
7 wickets down. Gee. How will Pawan react to this situation? He's the last sure batsman there. And I'm sure he's got to be feeling the pressure.
Oh, Dishant can bat, so they do have a little bit more batting. Dishant is a decent bat. But Pawan has to take control. He has to be the person who does the bulk of the scoring.
This must be Daniel's final over.
Yes. This is Daniel's final over.
Daniel keeps pushing it with some pace outside the off stump.
Yes.
It's turning slightly away.
He's hoping that that top edge goes to one of those fielders there,
Have his
or to the
field
keeper.
Well set. He knows that they are under pressure. They have to go after these deliveries. That was a short ball. Oh, and he just barely clears a short mid-on fielder.
I think the fielder didn't anticipate well.
Well, you know, I've seen that batsman, that new batsman, and it's funny that he's so far down the order. He is a good batsman.
He
Back
likes
with some
pace on the
smart.
ball, though. He likes pace on the ball, so.
All is not lost for 22
No,
yards.
no, I agree with you. He
And
does
there
have the ability.
Starts off in a nice shot into the extra cover area.
Why? I'm surprised they didn't look for two.
All is not lost for 22 yards.
I agree. I agree. They do have batting. These two guys can bat, and then Dishant can bat. So they do have three batsmen available to them.
And this is the game of cricket. Lots of uncertainties. Nice. It's a white ball. Danny just keeping it tight. Keeping it flat and tight. Actually, what's the score now, Anu?
73 and 10.3. That's still 100 runs required. It's an inside edge. Lucky it didn't go into the wicket.
Yeah. Finally, they're running hard and they picked up two. Good, but not a convincing stroke from Pawan on that occasion. But I could see Pawan getting a little more loose. You know, I know I've seen him before. I know when he's in his ricketicks. I think he's feeling good.
You think so? You don't
Yeah,
think
I
he's
think we're
feeling the
gonna
pressure of not losing his wicket and scoring at the same time?
I think. Oh, this! What? Lousy shot.
The spinners have completely decimated 22 yards. That's a huge, huge wicket with Pawan out for 10.
I can't believe that the batsman of his caliber played such a shot. Playing completely across the line of the delivery, being bowled down middle stump.
This has become a one-sided game at this point.
Batsmen are just succumbed to scoreboard pressure. Playing unorthodox, careless shots.
They have lost 6 wickets in 16 runs. Can you believe that? 6 wickets in 16 runs.
It's a rare occurrence, but it's a possible occurrence when batsmen are being so irresponsible and bowlers are just keeping the ball on the wicket. This is very regrettable. There's a nice forward, defensive, careful shot.
But an excellent spell overall.
Daniel ends his spell.
Daniel gets the 2 most important wickets. He got Humayun and he got Pawan.
Both of them bowled them.
So 4 overs, 18 runs, and 2 wickets. Considering there were 2 sixes hit by Humayun to him, that's an excellent spell. Meaning he only gave 6 runs outside of those 2 sixes.
Well, we must commend Daniel. He is a representative for the U.S. cricket team, and he has shown today that he has learned how to deliver the ball in a way that would give the batsman problem. And he has been rewarded with 2 great wickets, both of them bowled down.
So the president of 22 yards is on strike. I know he's a fighter. He's going to give it his all.
So at one stage we're thinking that Pawan was going to be taking it on, but now it's left on the shoulders of the president of 22 yards. What would he do? aggressive mode. And
Well, he has to. They have to score 10 runs per over.
this is
They need to have a boundary every over and can't have dot balls. That's a tough ask.
it's going to be real tough in the batting. They have lost their best. And the old Tigers team looking as though they're going to put their paws on another trophy. My dear friend Dawood Ahmed, always around. Oh, short delivery, batsman.
Deshant is a little short on batting, match practice. He's bowled in a lot of games, but he hasn't had a chance to bat in a lot of games. And that takes its toll. Because if you remember, when he played for Nitro, he was their key batsman.
This bowler is just making rings around the batsman, man. Varying his pace, varying his flight, and just being unplayable. Not a good delivery, short, punched out there.
Yeah, but this isn't going to do it for them. You can't have that many dot balls because these guys are not necessarily big hitters who will consistently hit boundaries. So they have to take the ones and the twos and then hope for those odd boundaries.
It's not all lost, but as you said, you need to be more urgency and bigger shots. I guess they're all.
Somebody needs to tell the leg umpire he can just stay on one side.
I know, they're just trying to be.
Harry shouldn't have to go across after every run. If I was him, I'd just stay on this side so the sun's behind him.
Yep. Oh boy. What's the name of the president for 22 yards?
His name is Iraj.
And the bowler who finished that
Muhammad.
his third over, Muhammad.
Yes.
Has about 4 wickets, you said?
Yes, he bowled 3 overs, 8 runs, 4 wickets.
Wow. Fantastic. That's definitely a man of the match kind of performance.
I would say so. He has overshadowed Usman's performance. And Uzi bat bowled really well for 22 yards. But yes, if this score holds and this result holds, then you would have to give him the man of the match.
Well, we're getting down into that part of the Tigers bowling which could be susceptible to big hits.
Yeah, but they have.
Unfortunately,
But
they're
they wouldn't mind that with 8 wickets down. You know,
Yes,
if there were 2 wickets down and they had to expose this bowling to that, much more difficult situation to be in.
you might more say that Tigers is just trying to buy a wicket now and wrap this game up.
Yes, and you can kind of tell the crowd has kind of dissipated. It's very quiet around here.
A ball which would otherwise been hit over the boundary for a 6 is just played gently into the onside for no run. Another juicy full toss that could have been hit for another 6 is just into the pads.
You can say Tigers can do no wrong.
Tigers is definitely trying to purchase another wicket. And he's going to be out. Bowled down. Another careless shot.
I think he was frustrated because he wasn't able to connect.
Wow. There's going to be big celebration here today. Tigers
Definitely.
all the way. As the last batsman for 22 yard goes towards the middle. Total demolition here.
One would have to say a very anticlimactic final.
requirements for a good final, but this is the game of cricket.
Yep, sometimes it doesn't live up to the expectations. This is one of those times.
Cricket is like life.
Yeah.
Cricket is like life, as the senior player says, or the senior umpire, Mr. Ram Raghu.
Ram, do you know that in the first game there was a run out which was not a run out?
Why was no run out?
Because you couldn't tell, but the bails had already fallen.
Both bails?
Yes.
Guys say one bail was fallen.
Nope. We saw the replay.
You don't have to remind him.
But you didn't. You had no way of knowing because you were the leg umpire.
What was my partner doing?
He was not looking at the wicket.
Okay, so he should have, if he had run out of that, then he should.
Because everybody here said it immediately said, "Oh, that's not a run out."
He brought another this controversial umpire again.
No, it didn't matter. At the end of the day, it didn't matter.
Every decision has to be made.
But you were not in a position to know that because you were shielded by the you know.
Okay, hindsight, if I was the batsman and he knew, I don't know if he knew, or if the other batsman knew, he could have brought it to our attention, and then I would have gone to the other guy.
Yeah.
And asked him.
Yeah.
But nobody raised any question, and I couldn't tell.
The batsman said he knew. I don't know why he didn't raise the
Yeah, he
question.
should have raised
Because when he came out, I asked him. I said, "Did you know that both bails had fallen?" He said, "Yes."
He told me one bail fall.
The batsman told me he knew both. Anyway, it is what it is at this point. But they need to be more aware of the situation. You know, the batsman and everybody else.
Not the batsman, the umpire. Come on again, the umpire.
Well, yeah, of course the umpire goes without saying because umpire has to watch everything.
Yeah.
Like when there's a run out at the wicketkeeper end and I'm at the bowler's end,
Yeah.
I keep my eye on that ball all the way to make sure that the wicketkeeper ain't break the wicket.
Yeah.
Yep.
But these guys, they gotta learn all that kind of stuff.
And so there's one final wicket standing for 22 yards, and
It's cut down to 10 yards now.
oh, they've been chopped down. They've been chopped from 22 yards to 10 yards. Oh, unfortunate. No ball.
Return crease, return crease. Step on the return crease.
All right, Uzi, let's see if you can hit a 6 on this. We have a free hit.
Bowler's infringement. Back foot and the back foot and the return crease as he delivered, and he's going to be stumped.
No, but that doesn't count. It's a free hit. He doesn't care.
Well, unfortunately, he is not really out. And I guess that's why he attempted that stroke.
Yeah.
Knowing that he couldn't be out stumped. But
But he would have been happier if he had connected.
it's a prelude to the end.
Remember I think the open bat that get ball with the one that shoot, that drop half pitch and kept.
Yeah.
Did it drop twice?
No, only once. It just stayed low.
Oh, that's the one you were talking about,
Yeah, Shahid Hanif's first wicket. That was an unlucky out.
How these guys open bat has run from the ball? You're supposed to get behind the ball, so the ball shoot you there.
See, he positioned himself for a pull, right? It was a short ball, and then the ball was only this high. Hit his calf.
But why are you positioning that early for the ball over there?
Was it Imran bowling?
Yes.
No.
No, it was Imran.
Oh, you mean, him, yes. Oh, shit.
To be very honest, I want to see Irad stay not out at the end of this innings.
Yes.
He deserves to be.
I don't know why they
Poor guy.
Why they played him? They should have played
Can you please tell the leg umpire not to have to go over every run?
He don't listen.
He just have to stay here so that the sun's behind him.
Yes, this is the right place, but you can see the crease from this end.
From there, you can't even see anything because the sun's in your eyes.
You can't see the crease from that side. That's why I go on this side all the time, because it's like a hill.
Not just that. Look at the position of the sun. Sun is like right there. You can't see.
Plus, you waste time. It's wasting time.
Yeah.
It's time wasting. It's not so critical that you move over and over. No, if people don't use their common sense, I don't know.
Common sense in common.
Iraj is not trying to score. I think he's only trying to play the 20 overs.
I would have played Anand instead of him. You have the leg spinner, Anand.
Iraj?
No, man, this guy, he done could bat.
he can hit.
They didn't
I think he's
reorganize their
just
batting
given.
lineup.
I thought they'd open with him.
They should have reorganized the batting lineup.
I thought Ricken didn't. I don't know what he was doing. I think he has more ability than that.
Just
I'm gonna have to tell him that.
I tell him, man. They become too dependent on importees, and you know.
DJ has given up on the music. He's not even playing any songs anymore.
Yeah, this stage, you know.
The air has been taken out of the tires at this point.
This Patriot playing here. Take out the ball.
You think they're going to be rain all night and into?
It's forecast from 6 in the morning, all Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Nate.
Bold them. Too late.
And that's the end.
22 yards for this game.
Sunday, Monday.
80 all out. A comprehensive win for the Tigers.
Oh, well.
22 yards, vaunted batting, completely collapsed. And a disappointing end to the game. But credit should be given to Tigers. Tigers won. Tigers deserve all the credit. They bowled really well and certainly are deserving champions.
Well,
that is it. Game over.
I have a different take on that. I think it was a lot of irresponsible batting on the part of 22 yards. Hey, and Tigers are doing the champion dance. Some in line, some out of line, but they are champions.
All right, let's see if we can get some post-game interviews. So I don't think there's much to be said at this point other than the fact that this was a comprehensive win for Tigers. They are the deserving champions of Premier Division. Imran, first of all, Imran, congratulations. That was a comprehensive win. I don't think anybody expected, that 22 yards will be all out for 80 given that the batting lineup that they had. Great bowling performance. I think your spinners just completely took the game over. But you started it with those 2 wickets up front.
We knew that they were going to go after the ball from up front the first 6 overs. So we gave ourselves at least 50, 60 runs, and the plan was for our spinners to come and just stick it to the line. Suleiman bowled absolutely amazing. He would not let batsmen. He was turning the ball both ways, and he was the difference maker when it comes to bowling. But we played as a team. We needed this. Last year we made the final. I had an accident. We shared the championship, but this is the year. We wanted it back. We worked hard for it. It's for my team, though.
Definitely deserving champions, but those 2 wickets that Daniel took made a big wicket, huge difference in the game.
Yes.
And a well-deserved shower for Imran. All right, Imran, I'm gonna let you go quickly because I know you're all wet. But a well-deserved. Those 2 wickets that that Daniel took made a huge impact. The game completely turned from the once Humayun got out.
The main batsmen we had to. They're going after the balls. That was the advantage we had. We had to just put a couple of overs in a good streak, in a good economical rate, which we were able to do as soon as we put on our spinners, and it made an immediate difference. We're really happy for my team performance.
Congratulations. Thank you. Yeah. Well, With that, I think we're gonna close this telecast. Tigers are the PD T20 champions in WCL for 2017. Congratulations, Tigers, and thank you 22 Yards for making the finals. Hopefully next year you can make amends. Thank you.
You're asking them to come one way and they're sending food the other way.
I want to thank you all the SH staff here, the scorers, the commentators and umpires and groundsmen who have done a marvelous job in today's final. So I want to thank this particular group first before we finish. Also, congratulations to 22 Yards for a very good run to the final. And of course, congratulations to Tigers on winning the trophy. With that, I will have Tiger Captain to come and please take the trophy from the
But we will need back like 3 weeks before the So I will get back to you. Because yeah, which one? That one? For real? Shit. I thought the one went nice. When the sun hit the more clear. Take the sun out. And this one is when the sun. Bright start. Okay. Five. I watch YouTube with all these places. Every single piece of brand you on the bus. बापू इधर तो मुझे इस लीग में 10 चैंपियनशिप हो गई है आदत हो गई है 60-20 and goddamn 440 and goddamn championship juice yes juice is gone juice is gone the 10th one in the WCL 440 56 20 overs goddamn I am the goddamn big boy here no yeah big boy here in this league no Imran still got the boss wicket. No, Imran. Happy birthday, and you enjoy tomorrow. Yeah, I will. Yeah, well, great. Rosie. Bora, bora.